everybody.
What? Hey now, what's going on? You snuck in there.
Hello,
Hey everyone.
everybody.
Hello everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Happy Tuesday. Happy day after Labor Day.
Oh, I
You know,
know. Yeah.
maybe listen, maybe everything's Trump was just taking a break for Labor Day. Okay.
hmm
He was just taking a little vacay, right? Labor Day, just chilling for the weekend. Everyone's
So
just worried for nothing, right?
this has gone from internet rumor because I
hmm
looked into this immediately. I was like, okay, well, this is just David Pakman talking shit. Like there is a press corps that has access to Donald Trump all the time, right? And they're gonna know if they no longer have access to Donald Trump, who they regularly have access to, they're gonna know something's up, right? So
hmm
they probably still have access to him. And if they didn't, the mainstream media would be all over this, right? They'd be like, "Oh my God, Trump has had a stroke. He's down for the count."
hmm
So I just assumed it was YouTube speculation, rumor, bullshit. But now now other people are talking about it, right?
Now you're like, this is a little strange. This is very strange, yes.
Right.
So, in case you don't know, if you've been living on a rock, supposedly Donald Trump hasn't been, well, here's the pictures, but he hasn't really been in front of a camera, a close-up shot of a camera, talk to a camera in public that we've seen for about 6 to 7 days. And whenever the president disappears, people start to speculate, say, well, what's going on? Where'd he go? Is he
Especially
sick?
this president who opens the Oval Office up to everyone, right? It's just like a
Yes.
party all the time. Oh, come on
Yes.
in. We're talking about Russia and Ukraine.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Trump, we all know Trump loves to get in front of the camera. Loves it.
Oh
And so,
yeah.
yeah, it's a little strange. And I, like you, was first. I was just like kind of dismissing it. I was like, okay, I don't know. Like, I'm sure he's just chilling somewhere. Right. But it's getting a little weird. It's been a while. It's been a while.
hmm
Trump hasn't shown up in front of the camera. But now today we're gonna finally see. Supposedly supposed to be at 2, so we're a little late. But we're late all the time, so we can't complain.
hmm
But supposedly today, Trump is going to make an announcement, and we will finally see with our own eyeballs. Is Trump alive? Is he dead? Is he sick? There were a lot of people speculating on X that he was already dead, that JD Vance is the president already currently, but they're holding it, a secret.
If JD Vance comes out and makes this announcement,
Then we're like, oh no,
then it doesn't
oh
look
no.
good. It doesn't look good for the Gipper here.
What if it's the Trump body double? Remember
Oh
we talked
yeah.
about that the Trump body double meant the Putin body double at
Right.
the at Alaska?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Mm.
I thought,
Well,
he must be feeling better. Like maybe he had a stroke or something, but it took him a while to nurse him back to health. Maybe they had to
mhm.
get a body double to come in, right?
They had to train him. Yeah. What
Maybe that's why it
if?
took 6 days.
Well, here's the question. Okay, here's the question: Is what was the last big event Trump did before he mysteriously disappeared for a week?
hmm
What was it? Do you remember?
But I do remember people were accosting about Epstein, and I thought,
Mm-hmm.
maybe disappearing for a week to
Oh,
get the
he's
rumor
hiding.
mill
Right.
going
I think that
about
would make it worse. I think that would make
whether
it
or not
worse.
you passed away.
Right.
Maybe this is just an elaborate ploy to change the page on Epstein.
I think that's gonna make it much worse.
Why?
Because it's like people are like, "Oh, is he dead? Does he have a health concern?" I mean,
Hey,
you
they're
don't
not
want
talking
that.
about Epstein. Come on.
Right. Right. I was gonna say the last big thing he did right before this is he met Vladimir Putin in person
hmm
and he shook his hand
Oh, you're
and he
right.
rode in a car with him.
Holy fucking shit. They hit him
Uh-oh.
with the palladium.
Oh
They
no!
they fucking
Putin
nailed him with the palladium.
Putin poisoned Trump,
Oh
everybody.
my
That's my theory.
God.
That's what happened.
Holy fucking shit. If
Right.
he dies from radiation poisoning, oh my God, he's going to go down as the dumbest motherfucker in history.
Well, okay. It's got to be a little bit more inconspicuous than radiation poisoning, right? Because if he dies from radiation poisoning, then it's like, well, how did Trump die? How did he magically get radiation? It's got to be something a little bit more like, secretive.
Why wouldn't Putin just take credit for it? Like
Well,
what does
then we
Putin
would go
have
to
to
war with
lose?
Russia. We would start nuking Russia. If the Putin assassinated the president, I think that would start a war.
We would go, nah, these people are a bunch of pussies. They would never. They'd just be like, oh, well, so what? Like,
I don't
it
think
would be a
so.
major reversal because you have the whole right in league with Russia right now. All of a sudden, the
Mhm.
whole right would be against Russia, and the whole left would
Right.
be like, thank you, Putin. Holy shit.
Mm,
They would be in bed
mm.
with Russia again instantly.
It would be interesting.
I guess you're right. We would kind of have to nuke Russia, wouldn't we?
I
I mean,
think
what
we
else
would,
could we
yeah.
do?
You can't have, even if you listen, even if you don't like Trump, you can't have foreign presidents taking out our president, all right? That's a stain on America.
That is, yeah, that's a terrible thing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you've convinced me. We
So
we
obviously
definitely have
Putin
to
didn't
nuke Russia.
right. So obviously Putin didn't hit him with a palladium. He hit him with like the stroke drug that like gives you a stroke
Hmm.
in 48 hours. So it seems like it was unrelated. It seems like it could be old age, but they're going to look, they've been looking over. This is why Trump's been out of the public eye. They've been looking over every inch of his flesh to try to find the little needle hole
Right.
like they do on CSI. They're like, oh, there it is. It's right on his thigh when Putin was touching his thigh, laughing at his joke. You could see it right there.
If they do find evidence that the Russians have tried some funny business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of disease that they've cooked up, right? Some sort of
Right.
virus specially designed for Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Will they publicize that?
The Trump administration?
Would the yeah, sure. Would
Yes.
they
Yes.
would come out and say that Putin poisoned Trump. I mean, obviously we're still going down the Trump is an idiot route then.
Well, here's
Look,
the
they
thing.
can't come out and say that, and I'm going to be saying Trump is a fool.
Here's the thing. If Trump, now I know where this is all kind of for the sake of entertainment, okay? Because
Mhm.
I don't actually think Putin poisoned Trump, but
What? That was
hypothetically,
this was your
okay,
fucking theory. Stand behind your
it's for
theory, god
fun.
damn
It's just
it.
for fun. It's just for
Oh my
fun, okay?
god. Oh
It's
my
just for the
god.
lulz. But let's just game this out for a second, okay? If it was true that Putin poisoned Donald Trump, all
Mhm.
right, and Trump dies, unless now JD Vance is in a weird position because obviously now he's president. So on
Well,
one hand,
and
you're
he
like, oh,
loves Putin as well, so I mean,
yeah, he hates Europe. Maybe he likes Putin. Putin's just giving him the presidency. Okay. But assuming that JD Vance is not just a total plant shill for Russia, which I don't think he is,
mhm.
it would behoove, if they knew that Trump was poisoned, it would help JD Vance to publicly say, oh my God, Russia, killed our beloved leader, Donald Trump. We're going to strike back because that would galvanize, that would unify the whole nation behind JD Vance and his power at that moment. If he's righteously striking out against Russia for taking out America's president.
What if JD Vance is in bed with the Russians and he's in on it? He
Well, then
wants to be
obviously
president.
nothing. Yeah.
Putin
Right. Right.
swings him an offer. Hey, we'll take care of your Trump problem and
Right. Well,
you
then
can be in the
obviously,
Oval Office.
it's a little different, but
You give us Ukraine, we give you the
yes.
presidency.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep your mouth shut, kid.
Right.
And we'll stop all the silly memes that we're putting out on the internet about you.
This is very weird chat. The amount of talk on this issue is getting after a few days compared to the entire Biden presidency blows my mind.
Mhm.
So this is I think this is
Who was
your
that? Shout him
tribal
out. Who's
bias.
saying
Okay.
that? Is that in our
Um
chat or this
yes,
other
in our
or the
chat, yes.
oh in our chat?
Yes. Because you have a situation like this would be the easiest thing for the Trump administration to squash this rumor. All Trump has to do, which I mean, he's doing it now, but we'll see. All he had to do all weekend was come out in front of a camera. All he had to do, he said he was going golfing. All he had to do was have someone take a picture that wasn't from 200 yards away, walk up to him, take a picture of him. Why would they
Which
not
he
do that?
does 50 times a day.
Which he does 50
50
times a
times a
day.
day he does
You,
this.
I think you have to be at a point of high bias. If you're going to say, okay, Trump, who loves the camera more than anyone else, isn't in front of the camera. Trump, who said they're going golfing, but the press is like a million miles away. They can't get a picture of it. Even if the press doesn't take a picture, the Trump White House doesn't put out a picture of him. And then when they do start to put out pictures, they're
They're
pictures from
old,
like
yeah.
a week ago, a month ago. You're like, why the fuck are they trying to pass off old pictures of Donald Trump as current pictures of Donald Trump? That you don't think that's suspect? You're gonna sit there and be like, oh no, that's all totally normal, right? You're gonna whataboutism to Biden. Yeah. If you want to say, listen, the media obviously totally fucked up or lied about Biden, that's fair. Because they did. They totally did. But that doesn't like whataboutism take away the magic or the story of like, well, something going on with Trump now. This is pretty weird. It's a weird thing. Of course you're gonna cover this story.
Oh, okay. Look, let's be serious for a minute here. I know it's going to be difficult for
I
us,
know.
but let's try. So let's just say Trump has a really bad cold. Okay.
Right. Right.
Obviously, if he comes out sick, he's sick to his stomach, he's got a runny nose, a fever, all of that stuff. If he goes on camera like that, everyone is going to assume he's dying. So
Mm-hmm.
it's probably not a good idea for him to go on camera if he's got a serious cold. Look, we all get serious colds. I've been sick, Sitch has been sick, we've all been sick, right? So
You
he'll
got
want
food
to avoid the
poisoning.
cameras, but at the same time, you don't want to come out and say, "Oh, the president has a cold," because
Right.
the last president we had, Biden, that was their go-to move. Oh, the president has a cold, right? No,
Mm-hmm.
he has Alzheimer's. It's not a fucking cold. We can all
Right.
see that he's got spaghetti for brains, okay?
Right. Right.
So they probably don't want to do that because Donald Trump 24/7 comes out and oh Biden this and Biden that and Biden was the biggest mistake ever. If he goes down the oh he's just got a cold he can't come out, everyone's going to be like, "Oh, well, we've seen this movie before, right?"
Right.
So,
So it's possible. It's possible that Trump just has a cold or something relatively minor. And yeah, no one wants to see your president. Well, if you support the president, you don't want to see the president go up on stage, snot dripping out of his nose,
yeah.
eyes puffy, right? Not a great look for the country, obviously. So it's possible. I would say that if I was somewhere in the Trump administration and advising these things, I think it would be better for the publicity to just say the truth, to just say Donald Trump has a cold
Mhm.
and that's why he's not on camera. He'll come on camera when he doesn't have a cold in like a week or whatever. Because then, yeah, you would still have like Dave Packman and all these people. They'd also
Well, David
speculate.
Packman couldn't do that because he'd been saying that Biden is fine every time they
Right.
came
But no,
out
but
and
I'm saying
said
like
Biden had a cold.
you still have like Dave Packman and Midas Touch and all these people. They'd still come out and they'd all speculate, oh, they're lying. Donald Trump is dying. He's something more serious than cold, blah, blah, blah. Like they're all going to speculate that. But but people that want to defend Trump would say, oh, they said he has a cold, so he has a cold. Like they have a better defense to use against the mystery of saying nothing.
Well, I
Like
don't
to
know
me,
if
saying nothing makes it so much more suspicious than saying something.
well, they're not saying nothing. They're saying, "Oh, he's golfing. Just
But then,
chill, he's
yeah,
golfing."
but then they're like, oh, so that makes it even worse because then they're like lying because they say, oh, he's golfing, and then they show pictures of him golfing that weren't
From
of that
three
day,
months
that were
ago.
from 3 months ago. That makes it even worse.
Not only that, they got the they had the same guy he was golfing with 3 months ago in the pictures to kind of gaslight people into thinking it was the same time.
Yes, it's so like what the fuck. And you're gonna be like, that's not sus. That's not sus, Sitch. That's totally normal behavior. Are you out of your mind?
Well, look, it's all of this is speculation
Right.
until we see the palladium umbrella from Putin. We don't know what's happening
Well, I
here.
think that's most likely scenario is I think Trump's gonna come out. He's gonna give a talk. I don't think he's gonna say anything really about his health. Maybe he'll say that he's fine. I don't. I would predict that he's going to seem tired, but that's it. So
Mm.
it's going to be one of those like everyone's just going to perceive it how they want. They're like, oh, he
What
looks
if it's the
tired, so he's
Biden
dying.
debate all over again?
Right. But it's not going to be like, I don't think Trump is going to come out and pull a Biden on debate.
You
I don't think that's
don't?
going to happen. No, not today. Not
God,
today.
the Biden debate shocked the shit out of me.
You think that that's going to happen? I mean, I think it's
Well,
very
look,
low likelihood that that's going to happen today.
I thought the same. Everything that you're because Biden had done a pretty good job
Right.
of pulling it together for these speeches and whatnot. So I thought, oh,
Mm-hmm.
he'll come out and he'll pull it together. Everyone's just getting. I
Right.
was saying the same thing about Biden that you're saying about Trump right now,
Mm-hmm.
and then he came out and I was like, holy shit, this guy. It looks like he just had a stroke 5 minutes
Right.
ago.
Right.
Yeah. I how long can they stretch it? It seems like 6 days is kind of the limit, right?
Yeah, you're correct. We are getting to the limit, the point here,
Yeah.
right? So we'll see. That's why I'm waiting, and we're all waiting with bated breath to see what's about to occur here. As I said, I think it will be relatively uneventful, but we'll find out. Maybe you're right. Maybe he'll come out and he'll just melt on stage and we'll go, holy
It's
shit,
good.
it's over. Or maybe he'll come out and he'll do a fucking headstand, right? He'll do the Willy Wonka. He comes out and everyone's like, oh my God, he's sick. Then he does like a fucking cartwheel and like, oh my God, he's healthier now. He's even stronger. It turns out Putin injected him with testosterone.
What's the takeaway in the chat says it shouldn't have shocked you at all. I'm assuming you're talking about Biden. The thing of it is, I didn't vote for Biden. I thought Biden in the 2020 election was a geezer and too old to be president already. I didn't vote for Trump. I think I voted for Kanye, but this was pre-Nazi Kanye. So I want credit for that.
Like, just I gotta throw that out there. Make sure everyone knows this before I knew he was
Yeah.
a Nazi.
Yeah, so anyway, but look, I kind of expected what happened in that debate with Biden to happen sooner. Like I kept waiting for it to happen when he was giving a speech. He gave his Dark Brandon speech. I thought, oh, he'll fall apart here, and he didn't. So it kind of lulled me into a false sense of, okay, he's got handlers that are going to juice him up on whatever crack cocaine they're giving him in the White House, and he's going to be able to pull through in these moments enough to make it through the election. So,
Mhm.
and if you remember, that debate was way, way, way early.
Right.
And I mean, it was before he was even the official nominee. So I thought, yeah, they're probably doing the debate early
To show
because
everyone that
to
he
show
could.
everyone, yeah, that he
Yeah.
could. So that's why I was shocked. I was shocked. I was like, I couldn't believe anyone let this happen. But look, I'm glad they did because obviously I think Biden should not have been president. And then all the tell-all books came out where he was basically brain dead since a year into office. This is kind of crazy because Trump has only been in office almost a year now.
Mhm.
We haven't even passed the 1 year mark, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
not till January. You take office in January, so yeah. Hey, it looks like Rob Norris sent a bunch of people to our chat. Well,
Wow.
welcome. I mean, that's
Hello,
definitely
Rob.
not going to help with the meme that we're secret right wingers, but thank you.
We are Sigur Rob. No,
Thank you
right
anyway.
wingers. Scruffy Pumpkin, thanks so much for $2. Says he can still take it all. Jeb 2025. That's true. I think if it turns out Trump is sick, I think Jeb should sneak in and take it away from JD. What if JD announces Jeb as his vice president, and then Jeb secretly takes out JD, and then boom, we're back, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Jeb
We're,
takes it
we're
all.
back in the Bush
We're
administration.
back. We're back in the
Please,
Jeb.
no.
Jeb finally gets his revenge against Trump. This whole, like, it's some Game of Thrones. He's been plotting this
Mm-hmm.
revenge against Trump for all those years. Remember when Trump embarrassed Jeb in the debate all the way back in
Please
2015,
clap.
10 years ago? Yes. A decade that's worth of
Please
revenge planning.
clap.
The please clap is back.
Yes.
He's going to say
Yes.
that. Jeb Bush is going to be presiding over JD Vance's funeral. He's going to be like, now everyone please rise and clap for JD Vance.
The tension is so high here. They have a still shot of the White House. This announcement is supposed to take place in the Oval Office now.
Mm-hmm.
Now we didn't talk about whether or not that Trump could have his body double doing this
Oh,
presentation,
okay.
right?
Okay.
Maybe the reason he's been out of the public eye is because Trump had sex with the Putin body double and got AIDS. And now
There you
he is
go.
he is
There you go.
extremely sick because he has full blown AIDS.
Well, we had speculated that, yeah, Putin had sent a body double with AIDS to infect
Hmm.
Trump when they had
Yes.
sex. But then we said, well, what if Trump sent his body double with AIDS to infect Putin? So then we just had two AIDS. We
Right.
had two AIDS that had AIDS having sex with each other.
So that puts him in a quandary because now he needs the body double. But
Right.
Trump is sick and the body double has AIDS.
So
So
they had to train a new body double.
right.
I gotcha. I
That's
gotcha. That would take a
basically
while.
what's
6 days to put that together. Yeah. Sure, sure. I could believe it.
yeah.
That
People are
makes sense.
strolling. Who are these people strolling in front of the White House? Well, the
They're
flag is at
illegal
full.
immigrants.
The flag is at full mast, so obviously Trump has to be fine, right? If the president was dead, those flags would be at half mast,
That
correct?
would be a hell of a way to that would be crazy. What if they're at half mast?
If someone comes out and lowers them halfway down, oh my god. And you see JD Vance's face.
No, no, see, this would be the ultimate troll. They're at half mast. So I was like, oh my God. And it's like that for like 20 minutes. And then Trump comes out and he seems fine. And he's like, I'll be forever, bitches. And he says, we're honoring some like random person that people didn't realize died. So
Oh,
just ultimate troll move right there.
he is. I mean, this is high stakes theater here.
This is good
It
television.
is
Maybe you're right.
it is fascinating.
We're all,
And the
we're all waiting.
AP, what's the AP got? 53,000 people watching the AP
Mm-hmm.
live feed. I think
Yes.
I saw 40,000 on the Fox News until it went down.
I'm sure there's about at least 1 million people at a minimum across all the live streams watching to try to see what's going to happen here.
People were asking for a poll, so I'm going to put a poll up. Is Trump
Sick.
well? Is that what I should do? Is Trump sick?
Is Trump sick?
Okay.
He is sick. He's healthy as a horse.
Okay. Is Trump healthy?
He's the healthiest president that ever lived. What do you mean? There was another thing. Now, again, so once these rumors start coming out, everyone starts pointing these weird speculations. There was another.
Trump is dying.
Yeah,
One.
he's dying. There's another thing that's weird.
Trump is
Supposedly,
sick.
though this had been confirmed to some extent, the big hospital in Washington D.C. had all
Mhm.
the roads closed around it
No
recently.
way. No way.
Yes.
If this is all just an elaborate ruse to make the Epstein story go away,
Well, I mean, that
motherfucker.
was, geez, that'd be pretty crazy. Yeah. And then there also was, it was at Walter Reed. And then there was some rumor. I don't know if this was verified or not, but there was a rumor that someone saw Melania Trump at Walter Reed Hospital.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that one was true. Now, the road closures were true to some extent, but I don't know about the Melania thing. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out. It was going to be very interesting. And then depending on how long this goes, then we'll get to the insane, crazy, out of your mind, horrible interview between Adam Friedland and Richie Torres, which is just so crazy.
Do you know what this announcement is for? I want to
So,
tell people that.
well, there's a couple things that I don't know if it was officially described. There's a couple things. There was the renaming of the Department of Defense to Department of War, which is interesting for the candidate who kind of ran on the no more war entangling us in foreign wars uh platform. I know a lot of people voted for Trump. They would cite that as a good reason. So it seems like a very strange thing, but okay. Uh some people are speculating there's a bunch of US warships outside of Venezuela. So people don't know if it has something to do with are we going to war with Venezuela? I know the AP feed here says Trump announces Space Command is moving from Colorado to Alabama. So that's important,
Shouldn't they
right?
be in space? It's fucking Space Command. What the
Space
fuck?
Command should be obviously on the moon. Yes, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
what
That's a
the
good point.
fuck? So soy.
Very stupid. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, these are very important things. These are very important issues, right? That need to be. What if he just comes out and he's like, "Hello, everyone. We're moving the Space Command from Colorado to Alabama. No questions," and then like
Yeah.
walks away. And you're like, "What the
That's a big thing. Is he going to take questions? All the questions are going to be about his health, right?
Yeah, yes, all the first 5 questions will be health related,
So
and
I
then they'll be Venezuela related.
so I started the poll. Is Trump healthy? Trump is dying, 5%. Trump is sick but not dying, 42%. Trump is
Okay.
fine and golfing, 21 or 20%. Trump is immortal, 33%.
There you go.
I
There
think
you
you
go.
guys, I think you guys might be hitting the Trump is immortal a little too hard there.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't know if you can change your vote after you already. I think YouTube locks you in. They
they
only give you
do.
one bite at the apple.
Well, good news for those of you that want me to become a full-on Trump supporter. Okay.
Hmm.
According to the no tax on tips
I know. I saw that. Holy
bill.
shit!
Yes, according to
Get
the
your
no
MAGA hat out.
yes. So according to the no tax on tips bill, and I had said this, I said if super chats become tax free, I will 100% become the ultimate Trump supporter. Okay.
Yeah.
So according to the legislation, it does include digital content creators specifically. Okay. In the
Yeah.
legislation. Now, the problem now is on YouTube's shoulders because YouTube does not classify super chats as tips. I kind of looked into this a little bit. There's a bunch of regulations supposedly about how something gets talked about or how something has to be classified as a tip that
Hmm.
super chats don't fall into. YouTube 100% could change the system somewhat in order to make super chats fall into the tip category. So the ball is now in YouTube's courts, and I hope that these super chats get to be classified as tips because that would be completely amazing.
That would be epic.
Yes.
Our income would drop to zero. It'd be like
That's true. Yeah, that's
none,
true. Our
our
income would drop to
taxable income
zero.
would drop to zero. It'd be
That's
great.
true. Yeah, we'd be making a lot more money at no additional cost to you fine folks out there. We'd be making a lot more money, which would be
Yeah,
incredible.
it would be great.
Yes.
I'll take it.
And you get to see my little avatar would have a MAGA hat attached to
How,
it
how
forever.
much of that do you think is Tim Pool? I mean, Tim Pool was there, right? He's
Hmm.
like, we got to talk about this
Oh.
no tax on tips.
Oh
He,
my God. I would be singing, if that's the case, man, I would be singing Tim Pool
he
praises. I'd be
was in
like,
the
look at
press corps
this.
office.
He
You
was
know,
he
he
was like,
talked
you
to
gotta
Trump.
gotta get super chats as tips. Okay.
Trump is hip with all the content creators. They probably all
Hmm.
said it.
Yeah, probably. Uh-oh.
Bless me. Uh oh.
He's
Uh
caught
oh. Now I'm sick.
he's caught it from Trump, everybody. Jacob Lloyd from $5 says, no joke. I saw an opinion piece in my local newspaper that Jeb should run again. It was probably written by the dude glucking Jeb under his desk.
Oh,
That's pretty
wow.
crazy. That's pretty crazy. The Return Task Quest for $2 says it's almost like we should have age limits. Yeah, I agree. This is starting to get ridiculous.
Yeah, I think we should as well.
This is starting to get ridiculous.
Old people
Presidents.
deteriorate fast. They can be super healthy one day and the next day it's just like they have a fall and they never recover.
Yeah, true. It does like this is starting to get crazy. Because okay, so I have it set up so the age of presidents when they are president. All right. So the oldest presidents that we've ever had were Donald Trump and Joe Biden, both at 78. And Donald Trump, the third oldest president, was Donald Trump's first term at 70. The fourth oldest president was Ronald Reagan at 69. The fifth oldest president was all the way back William Henry Harrison at 68, James Buchanan 65, George H.W. Bush 64, Zachary Taylor 64, Dwight Eisenhower 62. So I would say based on this, I think the cutoff should be 70. Does that sound good? 70. If you're older than 70 at the time of the election, you're out.
70's good.
Yeah, 70 is a cut. 70 should be the cutoff. We need to add that to the
Because
Constitution.
I mean, 70, you could win two terms. Well, what happens if you're an incumbent? You can't run again.
No.
Let's say if you're 70.
Nope.
Well, that would be good because that would get it down. Like no one would put up a 70-year-old because they'd be like, oh, well, he can only run one term.
Exactly.
They'd be like, fuck
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. No, 70 is the cutoff.
That would be great. I'd be in favor of that.
Yeah. We need to do something like that because this is starting to get it's starting to get crazy.
It's just it's unnecessary.
Yes.
It's totally
Yes.
unnecessary to be in this situation.
Until they come out with the gene editing magic de-aging vaccines that Robert F. Kennedy is defunding. Until those come out,
Why the fuck is he defunding those? That's
I don't know.
terrible.
'Cause he's a jerk. He wants us all to die and to attach our carcasses to his roof as he drives around. So Until that, then we can get rid of the age limit, or we can change the age limit to 200 or whatever it will be at that point. But for now, 70. Harrison Dill for $5 says we've had two old senile presidents who have had health problems. This is who we should lower the age. This is who we should lower the age of presidential candidates to 19. I don't agree with that.
19. Wow.
No.
You have to be
35 is fine.
35 to run.
Listen, 35 to 70 is a good range. Okay. You got 30. That's a 35-year range. That's fine. That's a good range. I feel like 35 to 70, we can find top qualified candidates for president in that age range. I don't want any 19-year-olds running around. Do you?
No, obviously not.
They got to be extra horny.
That'd be horrendous.
Okay, wait. Who's oldest? Who's the youngest president? Let's see here. Okay, who do you think the youngest president? Wow. Well, some people are probably going to get. That's
John F.
the guess.
Kennedy?
He was second youngest.
Oh, really?
But that's close. Yeah.
Was it Jackson?
No.
No, not Jackson.
No. Jackson was 61.
Oh, wow. He was a geezer.
It was Theodore Roosevelt. I didn't even know that. At 42. He was 42 when he was elected his first time. And then, I didn't know, this is crazy too. The third youngest president after John F. Kennedy was Bill Clinton.
Wow.
He was such a youngin'. Bill Clinton was 46 at the time of his presidency.
Even younger than Obama? Because, I mean, I would have guessed Obama.
Yes.
He was pretty
Then
young.
was Grant, also 46, and then was Obama at 47. Wow, there you go. Interesting. Didn't know that. Libertarian Sasquatch for $2 says it took 6 days to make Trump's perfect chemo wig. Oh, I see. I gotcha. There you go. The speculation is that people are throwing out there is that they think he has some kind of stroke condition or something, or a bunch of strokes. So we'll see. We're going to be looking for face drooping.
I'm just looking for him to show up. What the fuck? He's got 40 minutes late here.
Yes. He's got to listen. We can't talk. I mean, I don't know if we've ever been 40 minutes late, but we can't talk. If we were president, you can make people wait 40 minutes.
It's uncharacteristic of Trump. Trump is generally punctual. They talked about the presidential debates, and he always showed up like an hour early and checked out the stage and did the walkthrough and all that. Right?
That's true. That's a good point. He did show up to the debate.
This is
very
uncharacteristic.
Early. That's
very uncharacteristic.
Point. Yeah. I forgot about that. He showed up to the debate super early and did all the things that you should have done. And Biden just fucking showed up like 20 minutes beforehand, like, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Mr. President, you want to know which camera to look at? No, I'll figure it out. I'm good.
There's cameras. What are you talking about?
What cameras? What is this newfangled technology?
I thought this was a written debate.
It's like a silent auction, but by debating. You just write like notes back and forth.
Oh, that'd be great.
God, can you imagine? That'd be terrible.
Well, I'm wondering if we should switch over to Richie Torres.
Let's give it. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how much more I have to say about.
Let's.
What if we switch over to Richie Torres, and then immediately, it's JD Vance on screen.
That's what's gonna happen. I mean, we could try to summon Trump by doing that, right? By switching topics.
Oh yeah, sometimes I do that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if I want the price of a stock to go down, I'm like, I'll just buy a little. It'll go right down.
Well, it's like, you're waiting for your wife or girlfriend to get ready. The way you summon her is you turn on like the video game system.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as a little like bling, like the load up sound starts, then like, ready to go, honey. And you're like, it works.
It does. It totally does.
They hear it and they're like, I'm not gonna let that motherfucker sit around.
Shit.
Yes.
Who's gonna be down there for hours?
Right.
I'm making him wait. He's gonna turn it around on me. He's gonna make me wait.
Oh no. Shinto brought up something. That's a good point. I was gone for a week too. I was gone mysteriously for a week, and now Trump is out of commission. Uh-oh. Nobody tell the FBI.
Everybody knows.
Nobody tell. All right. I was at Universal Epic with Sammy G. I have photographic evidence. Okay. I was not doing anything nefarious in DC.
Sammy G would never let Sitch assassinate Trump.
That is true. That is true.
She'd be
She would
immediately.
jump in front of the needle, like, no.
Oh my God.
Oh, no, Sammy, no.
That's hilarious.
Yes. Actually, it was funny. We were at Epic. I was dressed as Mario. She was dressed as Peach. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We walk out. We're in Mario Land. By coincidence, Mario and Luigi show up. Right. They have people dressed as Mario and Luigi. And we're like, oh my God, they're right there. So we like quickly are able to jump in the little picture line because they was
Right.
just by happenstance. And so when we go to the line, I'm standing next to Luigi. Sammy dressed as Peach is standing next to Mario. And Mario starts trying to mac on Sammy G dressed as Peach. Okay.
Wow.
He starts trying to mac. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I had to push Mario away and be like, back off, buddy. Okay. Get away from my girl.
Most of those costumed workers are pedophiles and like child molesters. So I mean,
I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case.
they are. What do you think?
But so I had to pull Sammy away and I had to switch positions so that I was next to Mario. Now I was upset because I thought that the person taking the picture would have got this amazing picture of me like pushing Mario away and like
You're
like
hamming it
putting
up for the camera.
Sam. Yeah, because that would have been like that would have been the most hilarious picture ever.
They're checking
But
their Instagram as you're
yeah.
as
They
you're
didn't
hamming
take.
it
They
up,
just took
ready
the
for
nice
them to.
picture of us smiling, which I was like, oh, I was disappointed. That
Well,
would
they
have been such
knew
a
that
hilarious
guy
picture.
was a registered sex offender. They didn't want to get him in trouble. That's why they didn't take the picture.
Well, I actually was worried. Maybe it's just my own worry. I was worried. I was like, I hope that guy doesn't get in trouble because I thought it was funny. Like, I thought it would have been a good picture. I thought it was like a funny little thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I hope that guy didn't get in trouble for that or girl because very often I didn't know this. Apparently, a lot of the people that do the costumes are like
Lesbians.
also the stage actor. Like the people that do the shows.
Yeah.
They have like, or even the people that like work other parks. They like rotate people throughout the different positions.
Mm-hmm.
So so very often it's like you could have like the girl performer who's singing. She's going to be, some male character with a head on. So who knows? Who knows what's going on there?
Well, that's cool. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yes.
I've had
So
that happen
definitely,
before when
I
the
am not
costume people
guilty.
show up and you're right there and you're like, oh my God, I'm in the front of the line. Holy
Right.
shit.
Right.
The line stacks up behind you.
What's what happened? We jumped in and then like two more people jumped in and they closed the line off. They're like, nope, that's it. And I was like, wow.
That's it? Oh, wow. Normally
Lucky.
the line gets going. It's like 40 people long and in a minute and a half.
Yes. So there you go. I have photographic evidence that I was fighting Mario off and I have no responsibility, nothing to do with any sort of sickness that Donald Trump is incurring right now.
Mm-hmm. Show us a picture. Oh, I guess you can't.
Oh, I think Sammy's going to like Photoshop the little Sitch face on it and show the picture at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Trump, get out of here. What's going on? Where's the president?
What's the speculation in the AP chat? Let's take a look here.
I think it's just going to be spam. It's going to be like Trump. See, Trump, we have a lot of free Palestinians in the AP chat.
Really?
Yes.
Those fuckers.
We have 1,000 years of transsexual victory. We have Trump as a healthy young man. So there we go. You got one.
Rest in peace. Free Palestine. Gold. Sell, sell, sell.
What is this? Somebody sent. What the fuck even is this? What is an NT currency? NT currency to US dollar. So that's a new Taiwan dollar. Because someone in the AP chat, I have no clue why.
Taiwan.
Someone in the AP chat sent AP a super chat of like $1,000.
Really?
Well, it's 1,690 Taiwanian dollars. I have no clue what that translates
So it's probably
into.
like $5.
Well, no, it's pink. It's like the pink color. Like,
yeah, but that doesn't matter.
$50. So that means it's got to be.
I've seen them before that are like red, and you look it up and it's like $2
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay, here,
it's
let me
in
do the
some.
translation. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. It's $22.
there you go. So it shouldn't be.
Still a lot though. Still a lot though.
Yeah,
Why
but
is someone sending AP $22?
it's not the right color quoting though.
I guess you're
Obviously.
right. That is true.
Rip Trump, rip Trump. Taco diapers are full. What? Low key want to make out with Miles. What? Who's Miles? Somebody wants to make out with her.
I don't know.
Who says he's dead? I mean, they could just put up a poll, right? We have
Don't
a poll
forget,
going.
Trump is a chomo, or else he would have released the files. What is a chomo?
Child molester. You don't.
Oh, I've never
How do you
heard
not
that
know
before.
the chomo?
I've never heard that. I've heard pedo. I've never heard chomo. Interesting.
Chomo
Who's
is the new pedo.
who's sending? Why are people sending AP money? What the fuck? $2 to AP. Dementia made him forget the press briefing.
JD Vance is now president. Please, Jesus, take him alive. What the fuck?
Oh my God. The @gov White House official account on the AP just super chatted for €2. It's weird that the government White House account would send not USD, but they're declaring that Trump died today. Wow. Can you believe that?
Who? Really?
The European government White House account on AP sent the super chat in saying
No
Trump
way.
died. Yes.
No way.
Way. Now I'm suspect that it's the real White House because I think the real White House would have sent a super chat to the AP with US dollars, not euros. But
Well, I mean, they're
that's just me.
European, though.
Oh, okay. The White House officials or European?
Gov White House. President Trump died on at 2:13 p.m. Holy fucking shit. Click on the channel. Oh, it doesn't let you do that anymore. Oh, look.
Oh, really?
Oh, look. Oh, shit.
How's it starting? Oh, here we go.
Well, thank you very much.
Looks good.
It's a very
I don't- do
important
you hear
day
anything?
and
I
an
hear nothing.
important announcement with great friends of mine. I think I can say this group is every one of them. I rate a 10.
He looks
I
great.
can't always say that.
He does.
Even if they're
He does,
Republicans.
it's fine.
And these are Republicans, great Republicans. I want to thank you all for being here for this important announcement. 7 years in the making. As you know, this has been going on for a long period of time. And I am thrilled to report that the U.S. Space Command headquarters will move to the beautiful locale of a place called Huntsville, Alabama, forever to be known from this point forward as Rocket City. Okay, so Huntsville, Alabama, we love Alabama. I only won it by about 47 points. I don't think that influenced my decision, though, right? That didn't, right? But
Everyone's like,
we had a lot of
course it did.
competition for this, and Alabama's getting it. Huntsville, in particular. So congratulations, everybody.
Rocket
Katie, congratulations.
City!
This will result in more than 30,000 Alabama jobs and probably much more than that, and hundreds of millions of dollars of investment, and that's billions because it can't be millions, it's billions and billions of dollars. Most importantly, this decision will help America defend and dominate the high frontier, as they call it. I want to thank Secretary Pete Hegseth. He's doing a fantastic job. And
He's even
Secretary of the
sober
Air Force,
today.
Troy Mink. Troy, thank you very much. Great job you're doing, Troy. This is such a big deal. This is one that everybody wanted to know. What are you doing? I also want to thank Senators Katie Britt, and I want to give my condolences. Your grandmother, her grandmother just passed away. She was 100, right?
100, and she loves you, Mr. President.
Well, and she was very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Very, very proud of you. So thank you, Katie.
Wonderful woman.
She must have been. To produce you indirectly, I can tell you she had to be. Tommy Tuberville, who's a great coach. And I won't say anything about what happened with Alabama football this weekend.
Let's leave that out.
But you're not used to that, right? You're not used to that. But Tommy, Auburn won, that's right. They did. So you're happy. Tommy's been a great senator, as you know, and a fantastic guy all around. He was also a tremendous coach. House Armed Services Committee Chair Mike Rogers. Thank you, Mike. Where's Mike? Mike, thank you very much. Doing great, Mike. Representatives Barry Moore, all great friends, Robert Adderholt, Gary Palmer, and Dale Strong. Thank you all very much, fellas. Appreciate it. In my first term, I created thing called Space Force, so important. You know, we were losing the race in space very badly to China and to Russia, and now we're far and away #1 in space, and reestablish SpaceCom with a mission to protect American space assets and detect any threat to our homeland. We initially selected Huntsville for the SpaceCom headquarters, yet those plans were wrongfully obstructed by the Biden administration. And as you know, they moved them to a different locale. And today we're moving forward with what we want to do and the place that we want to have this. And this will be there for hopefully hundreds of years. That's where it's going to be. I will say I want to thank Colorado. The problem I have with Colorado, one of the big problems, they do mail-in voting. They went to all mail-in voting. So they have automatically crooked elections. And we can't have that. When a state is for mail-in voting, that means they want dishonest elections, because that's what that means. So that played a big factor also. In Huntsville, SpaceCom will play a key role in building the Golden Dome, as you know. That's going to be a big thing. Everybody wants to be a participant in it. Missile Defense Shield, we're going to be having a Golden Dome that the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. The finest, the best. And by the way, Canada called. They want to be a part of it, and that'll be great. But Canada wants very much to be included in that, and then we're going to work something out with them, I hope. It will also ensure that our technological capabilities, of which we're way ahead of anybody else, there's nobody close, remain unmatched long into the future. So I'd like to ask Secretary Hegseth to say a few words. He was very much a part of it. And really, everybody behind me was. Every one of these people would call me and lobby me. I said, Katie, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I know what you want. She said, that's right, sir. That's what I want. And they got their way. So I just want to congratulate. These are really special people. They're politicians in many ways, but they're great patriots, I think even more so than politicians. So they fought very hard to get it, and it's an honor to give it to Huntsville. Pete, say a few words, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. As usual, right place, right time, for the right reason. In your first administration, you established the Space Force at a time when we knew we had to be looking to that domain of space. You also reestablished SpaceCom to ensure that priority was put in place, and you, through the Air Force, independently identified that Huntsville, Alabama was the right place to put it. For other reasons, in the next administration under Biden, they decided to move it somewhere else. Well, during that time, the DOD Inspector General, the Government Affairs Office, they did their own assessments, and where did they say SpaceCom should go? Huntsville, Alabama. So what you're doing today, Mr. President, is restoring it to precisely where it should be based on what the Space Force, the Air Force, your leadership believes will give us strategic advantage in the future. That is Huntsville, Alabama. We are way ahead in space, but this will ensure we stay leaps and bounds ahead, because that's the most important domain. Whoever controls the skies will control the future of warfare. And Mr. President, today you're ensuring that happens. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Katie, would you like to say something?
Mr. President, we are grateful for your leadership on this and restoring Space Command to its rightful home in Huntsville, Alabama. This delegation has worked together, both chambers, both parties, to make sure that Huntsville was the place that Space Command called home. As was mentioned, obviously the Biden administration chose to make this political. What we want to do is put the safety and security of Americans first. We want to make sure that our warfighter is put first, and we want to make sure that America continues to lead. And today, Mr. President, you've allowed that to happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tommy, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. This
His
is a
hands
great
look
day
great.
for our country, not just for our state of Alabama. We need help in our military. We need to catch up. And as Secretary has said, we're not behind in space, but we know where we're at, and we need to expound on that. Now, this move will save the taxpayers $480 million. It's not going to cost more. It's going to cut $480 million. We have the plans intact. It'll be behind a secure wall in Huntsville, Alabama, at Redstone Arsenal. We have 40,000 people there. We have the FBI there. We have missile defense there. We have NASA, Blue Origin, and SpaceX. It is the perfect place for Space Command. I would tell you today, And I've spoke with the president for the last 3 or 4 years about this. If I thought it needed to go somewhere else because I understand the security of our country, I'd be for that. But the best place for Space Command is Huntsville, Alabama, because what we have and what it means to this country is going to be so important. So thank you, Mr. President, for this, and we look forward to building a huge Space Command and having the Donald J. Trump Space Command Center in Huntsville, Alabama.
JD, would you like to say something?
Sure. Well, Mr. President, thank you. I'll be very brief here. I lobbied the president hard to put it in Ohio, but he said these people behind us, these Alabamas, are just too powerful and too persuasive. And so it's in Alabama, but as Tommy said, this is exactly the right place for Space Force and Space Command. I think Americans ought to appreciate the fact that you can't win the battle of the future unless you control the skies. The cyber security, the communications, the entire infrastructure of the battle in the 21st century will be in space. So it was a visionary move in the first administration for the president to set up Space Force, and I think an equally visionary move to make sure that Space Force is right where it should be in Huntsville, Alabama. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, anybody want to say anything? Would you like to say?
Mr. President, another promise made, another promise kept. You think about it, Redstone Arsenal is critical to national security. The president said when you were the 45th president, let's do what's right for national security. And today, that's exactly what we're doing. It's not because of this or that. It's because it's right for national security. You think of the 21 categories that were evaluated to determine what was best for national security. All indicators pointed back to Huntsville, Alabama, and Redstone Arsenal. We have the right people at the right place at the right time. Mr. President, on behalf of the people of the 5th Congressional District and all of Alabama, thank you for keeping your word.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Anybody?
Let me just say, Mr. President, I want to say thank you. And thank you for doing this because it was the right thing to do. When they looked at all the numbers, Huntsville was the place to go, and like you say, it was unfortunately pulled out, but you made it right. So I want to just say thank you again for a grateful nation, and to the state of Alabama, we're very grateful. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mike,
Please, go ahead.
Mike?
Thank you, Mr. President. Throughout history, militaries has always understood that whoever could hold the high ground held the advantage. Space is the ultimate high ground. And what we're doing with moving the Space Command to Huntsville is absolutely critical to our maintaining dominance in that sphere. And it goes hand in hand with what we're trying to do with the Golden Dome and missile defense to defend against anyone else who tries to enter that sphere. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. And obviously, national defense is a huge issue. And when you look at the scores, Alabama was #1. And for political reasons, it was moved out of our state. But Mr. President, thank you for making priorities the defense and the warfighter and the safety of this nation. And in the big, beautiful bill, that Golden Dome will be built in Huntsville, Alabama, and we're grateful for that. Thank you.
Listen, as chairman of the Armed Services Committee, I care very much about what's most important for our national security. And the president held a nationwide competition to determine where we should have this command. If y'all remember, at the end of that competition, where Alabama came in first, there was a lot of complaints from the other states who did not place well. He said, we'll do it over with new criteria to accommodate your concerns. Alabama came in first in that second competition. His Secretary of the Air Force reviewed the results, said it was fair, and the president named Huntsville. It was the Biden administration that decided to make it political, even though his own Secretary of the Air Force said it was a fair competition and it should be in Huntsville. So I want you to know I appreciate this president standing up and being strong and saying he's going to make this right and put it where it rightfully belongs, and that's Huntsville, Alabama.
Thank you very much. Good job. Appreciate it. So thank you all very much. You are going to leave me alone now? You're not going to call me anymore and talk about this subject, right? You promise? They'll start something else. But I just want to congratulate you. It's a very big deal. When you come out and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that, and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago, and our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who has been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it if we didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing, and you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela. So we took it out, and you'll get to see that after this meeting is over. Do you have any questions, please?
Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Cumberland talked about the cost savings associated with this announcement. Can you talk about the strategic benefits by having Space Force Command headquartered in Huntsville?
Well, it just works because we have so much else there. And having a central, you could call it a central command, but it really is a command station. Also, even locationally, where it is, and when you think about flying distances, if you can save a half an hour as fast as some of these planes go and things go, and even the rockets go, if you can save by having the best location. So we went out, as you know, to experts, and we had 4 different groups of experts. They all said this was the best location. I also loved it from the standpoint, I know the people of Alabama, they are great people, work hard, and there's no games, and they're very proud of it. And I would say they fought harder for it than anybody else also. A lot of states, 5 states really wanted it, but they wanted it more. And I kid you not when I say that these people, they spoke to me a lot. That's all they wanted to talk about. They didn't want to talk about the weather. They only wanted to talk about moving to this location, moving to Alabama, Huntsville in particular. So we're honored to do it. They really wanted it badly, and they got it. Peter?
President Trump, something completely different, but about a big viral social media trend over the weekend. How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead? You see that?
No.
People didn't see it for a couple days. 1.3 million user engagements as of Saturday morning about your demise.
Oh, my God.
You see that?
You know, I have heard, it's sort of crazy, but last week I did numerous news conferences, all successful. They went very well, like this is going very well. And then I didn't do any for 2 days, and they said, there must be something wrong with him. Biden wouldn't do them for months. You wouldn't see him. And nobody ever said there was ever anything wrong with him, and we know he wasn't in the greatest of shape. No, I heard that. I get reports. Now, you knew I did an interview that lasted for about an hour and a half with somebody, and everybody saw that was on one of your competitors. I did numerous shows and also did a number of truths, long truths, I think pretty poignant truths. No, I was very active over the weekend. They also knew I went out to visit some people at the club that I own, pretty nearby on the Potomac River. And no, I've been very active actually over the weekend. I didn't hear that one. That's pretty serious stuff.
I'm glad it's.
Well, it's fake news. You know, it's just it's so fake. That's why the media has so little credibility. I knew they were saying, like, is he okay? How's he feeling? What's wrong? I said, I just left. And it's also sort of a longer weekend, you know, it's Labor Day weekend. So I would say a lot of people know I was very active this Labor Day. I had heard that, but I didn't hear it to that extent. Go ahead, Peter.
Something else. We know that this country has a huge problem with school shootings. You've said that you're open to sending the National Guard pretty much anywhere. Would you ever consider sending an armed National Guardsman to every school?
Well, we have a big problem with school shooting, but we also have thousands and thousands of schools that run perfectly. You know, they talk about you can do things construction-wise, and that's really, I think nobody knows more about construction than me. You can build the construction doors. You can build what they call safety doors, where they lock on the outside, the inside, and every place else. Well, but if one of these lunatics happens to get through, then the police can't get in. Then they're looking for keys all over the place, and it takes a lot of disadvantages to doing, spending billions and billions of dollars and actually making it safer in some way for some of these lunatics that we're dealing with. But I don't think so. I've thrown out the concept. We have great teachers that love our children. The parents love the children. Teachers love the children too. And if you took a small percentage of those teachers that were in the military, that were distinguished in the military, that were in the National Guard, et cetera, and you let them carry. That's something that a lot of people like. I sort of liked it. It'd have to be studied, but they're trained. They know about weapons. You can't do it with every teacher because most teachers don't know, and But I always thought that would be an alternative. But it just we've had a lot of instances. Other countries have also. They have different kinds of problems than we have, but we do have. There's something going on. And it's a bad thing. Yes, please.
Have you spoken with President Putin in the past week? Have you spoken with President Putin in the past week?
I don't want to. I have learned things that will be very interesting. I think in the next few days you'll find out.
Will there be any consequences if there isn't some type of announcement of a meeting with President Putin and President Zelensky? And what could those consequences be?
We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what they do and what happens. I'm watching it very closely. Last week they lost 7,000 between the two countries. 7,313 soldiers, to be somewhat exact, for no reason whatsoever. And they're Russian and they're Ukrainian, but, they're soldiers. I want to see it end. Yeah.
Mr. President, have you decided you're definitely going to send National Guard troops to Chicago?
I didn't say when, but the answer is, look, Chicago's very interesting because I watched Pritzker get up and say we don't need help, we're safe. But 2 weeks ago, they had 6 people murdered, and they had 24 people hit by bullets. Last week, as you know, it was 7 people, 24 people hit, and 7 people died. And then over the last 2 days, that was the crown jewel. They had, I guess, 9 or 10 killed, and 50 hit with bullets. And you have this governor get up, who's a terrible governor. Probably he and Gavin Newsom would be probably the 2 worst and most naive. They're naive. Either they're naive or they're very untruthful. And he'll say, we don't want any protection. We don't need. So in the last 3 weeks, he's lost almost 20 people killed. There's no place in the world, including you can go to Afghanistan, you can go to places that you would think of. They don't even come close to this. Chicago is a hellhole right now. Baltimore is a hellhole right now. Parts of Los Angeles are terrible. If we didn't put out the fires, and I mean the other fires, the bullet fires, they didn't do a good job with. They should have had the water coming down, like I said. We had to release the water. We had to go in and release the water to L.A. It's so badly run. But if I didn't send the National Guard into Los Angeles, I would be making an announcement today. I'd be talking about Huntsville, and I'd simultaneously be saying, by the way, the Olympics is not coming to Los Angeles. If we didn't do that, and even the sheriff, the top law enforcement person in Los Angeles said, we could not have handled it without them. So that's what he said.
Make your mind up on Chicago, though?
Well, we're going in. I didn't say when. We're going in. When you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation. When we lose, when 20 people are killed over the last 2.5 weeks, and 75 are shot with bullets. So let me tell you a little story about a place called D.C., District of Columbia, right here where we are. It's now a safe zone. We have no crime. It's in such great shape. You can go and actually walk with your children, your wife, your husband. You can walk right down the middle of the street. You're not going to be shot, Peter. You're safe. Everyone likes you anyway. They probably wouldn't do it. But it's so dangerous. And there are people in this audience you've suffered greatly. There are people in this audience that have been mugged and hurt badly, and they don't want to talk about it. Maybe you were very brave in talking about it. You made quite an impression on a lot of people. I appreciate it. But there were other people in this room that have been hurt very badly just walking down the street in D.C. Washington, D.C., is a safe zone right now. It's a safe city. The restaurants are open. They're booming. You can't get a restaurant. New restaurants are announcing that they're going to be open. This took place in 12 days. Now it's 15 days, but 3 days ago it became what's known as a safe zone. It's a safe city. And this city was really bad, really, really bad. We took 1,600 people out hardcore criminals that will not be coming back anytime soon. And we're very proud of it. You know, to have our nation's capital lose every week. You know, it was like years, many years, where every single week somebody was killed for many consecutive weeks. This went on for years. And then we had, last week it was announced that nobody was killed last week. And I made that announcement in front of a very distinguished leader of a country. And I'm saying proudly, ladies and gentlemen, nobody was killed in Washington, D.C. this week. He looked at me like, what's that all about? I say, yeah, we have a little bit of a crime problem, and we don't have a crime problem in Washington anymore. And the mayor has been very helpful, and the police commission has been very helpful, and it's been a great team. And I would love to have Governor Pritzker call me. I'd gain respect for him and say, we do have a problem, and we'd love you to send in the troops, because you know what? The people, they have to be protected. I saw today on one of your networks, not a friendly network, except really the opposite, I would say, very unfriendly network. And they interviewed about 12 people on this morning. Most of them were African American, who were black. And they were saying, please, please, please let the president send in. These were people from Chicago. Please, we need help. We need help. We can't walk outside. We're petrified. If the governor of Illinois would call me up, I would love to do it. Now, we're going to do it anyway. We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country. And that includes Baltimore. I saw where Governor Moore was asking me to take a walk down the street of Baltimore. Well, Baltimore is a very unsafe place. It's rated number 4 in the city, one of the most unsafe places anywhere in the world. But, you know, we took care. This was a beautiful thing that happened in Washington because we showed that it could be done. And this wasn't just sending big, strong guys, and they are big and they are strong. You know, we had a great decision from the Supreme Court that had to do with sort of talent. It had to do with you are put down based on merit. You can hire based on merit. So merit for a soldier or for a policeman is strong, physically fit, having a certain ability, not a person that is woke and got the job through woke, but wasn't strong enough to lift a gun out of the holster, et cetera, et cetera. No, I looked at the police. As you know, last week I went over, we had a meeting there had to be 300 people, and they were all very impressive looking. And when the bad guys see them, they're not going to do a thing. And so I'm very proud of Washington. It serves as a template, and we're going to do it elsewhere. But Chicago is certainly going to be high. I would love to have him call. I would love the governor of Illinois. I'd be honored to take his call. All he has to do is say, sir, we need help. It's out of control. And everyone knows it is. He's not kidding anyone. I would love to have, I would say, Governor Moore call, because I watched him over the weekend trying to explain that Baltimore, what they need is housing. No, they don't need housing. They need to get rid of the criminals. These are hardcore criminals. You know, we took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals, frankly. They were born to be criminals, and they're tough and mean, and they'll cut your throat, and they won't even think about it the next day. They won't even remember that they did it. And we're not going to have those people. Washington, D.C. is now a safe zone. It's a safe place. And you can walk, Katie, you can walk right down the street with, by the way, one of the biggest human beings I've ever seen, which is her husband. He was a football player for like 11 years in the NFL. He's a big person. But big doesn't mean anything when they have guns and when they have knives and everything else that they have, right? But you can walk right down the street, even by yourself, and you're totally safe. Washington, D.C. is a great thing. Yes, ma'am, please.
Mr. President, as you're calling on Democratic leaders across the country to work with you on crime, do you see your efforts here in D.C., including, for example, working with Mayor Bowser here as a model for bringing more bipartisanship in matters not only with crime, but also issues that matter to everyday American people's lives?
So Mayor Bowser's been great. She could have taken the thing, and then after I clean it up, they'll take credit for it. You know what they do is they take credit. Like, we cleaned up Los Angeles. We did a great job there. And it was overwhelming what was going on. And again, the police chief made a statement that we could not have done, there's no way they could handle it. You saw what was happening out there. It was going to be a disaster. We stopped it cold. If we didn't do that, it would have been a very sad day. And, you know, remember, we have the Olympics, we have the World Cup, we have all these things coming, and we have 250, all of these things coming. But I watched Newsom get up and say he's doing a great, he's not, we're the ones that did it. And that's okay, whatever it takes. But the main thing is, but he got up and said, we did it. Well, he didn't want us there. And he's going to need us again because it's starting to form again. I see it. It's starting to form again. You know, we have to maintain. It's like maintenance on an airplane. You can buy it, but you have to maintain it. And if you don't maintain it, a good plane becomes very unsafe very quickly. So it's an honor to do it. It's a lot of presidents wouldn't do what I'm doing. I don't need this heat. But when I watched television last night and I'm watching the news and I see that 9 people were killed in Chicago and 54 were badly wounded with bullets, I say, that's not this country. We have to do something. And I do say this, I say this very much. I'm not speaking to anybody but them right now. I would love to receive calls from governors and mayors saying they need help. We'll help them. We have a lot of people. We have a great force. We have a great military force. You know, Pete will tell you that when I was running for office, and this was a big headline, I think, you know, probably got me a couple of votes, but you couldn't sign people in the military. Nobody wanted to join the military, the Army, Air Force, the Navy, Marines, Space Force, Coast Guard. We never forget Coast Guard because they've done such a great job. Never. But nobody wanted to join any of them. We were way below what we wanted. Every single one. The closest was the Marines, whatever that is. You'll explain that to me. But the closest was the Marines. But every service was way down, way down. And then I got elected, and our country's the hottest country anywhere in the world right now. Everybody's talking about the USA. They're talking about the job that we're doing. Everybody. We have the best economy. We have a very, very important decision being made by the Supreme Court because our country is the richest, the strongest, the most powerful. But if for some reason some liberal court, I'm talking about the court that just ruled, where even an Obama judge voted in favor of us, which I gave him a compliment yesterday, as you know. I said that took great courage. But it's a liberal court, and it's going up to the Supreme Court, who I think have been incredible people. I think they've made very wise decisions. But the tariff question, because without the tariffs, this country is in serious, serious trouble. We've taken in almost $17 trillion of investment is coming in. Most of it is coming because of tariffs. And if for some reason somebody wanted to be politically correct, I actually think it's unpolitically correct. I think politically correct is to approve it because there's nothing so popular as what's happened to our country. Our country is doing so well. But we had a liberal court gave us a very shocking ruling, and that ruling is basically saying that the trillions of dollars that are pouring into our country, putting us in a position like no country is anywhere in the world, that they'd like to see us that taken away. By the way, a lot of the people behind that lawsuit, that particular, are from foreign countries. I might
Should we cut away from this?
There is a video that is circulating online now of the White House where a window is open to the residents upstairs and somebody is throwing a big bag out the window. Have you seen this?
No, that's probably AI generated.
So
actually, you can't open the windows. You know why? They're all heavily armored and bulletproof.
So that's a fake video?
Well, it's got to be because I know every window up there. The last place I'd be doing it is that because there's cameras all over the place, right, including yours. No, but every window, I've never seen a window that's. In fact, my wife was complaining about it the other day. She said, "Love to have a little fresh air come in, but you can't. They're bulletproof." And number one, they're sealed, and number two, each window weighs about 600 pounds. You have to be pretty strong to open them up. No, that has to be. Where was the window? Let me see.
Oh, look, he's going to look at the window.
Glad we didn't stop.
You sure Hunter Biden wasn't visiting the White House?
Which is the window?
Throwing his stash out?
This is on the 15th Street side, I think.
Yeah.
So right here.
Yeah, those windows are sealed. Those windows they're all sealed. You can't open them.
What you were saying regarding the federal.
It's the kind of thing they do. And one of the problems we have with AI, it's both good and bad. If something happens really bad, just blame AI. But also they create things, it works both ways. If something happens that's really bad, maybe I'll have to just blame AI. But there's truth to it because I see so many phony things. I saw something as I was growing up from the time I was a baby till now. I said, who did that? It was AI generated. So it's a little bit scary, to be honest with you. But those windows are all very heavily
Obviously,
sealed.
the Epstein files.
Mr. President, I follow up with what you were saying regarding that federal appellate court that ruled against you and your administration as it relates to your ability.
Well, they ruled against our country, the court, and they ruled against us before. It's a very liberal court.
You called it highly partisan in your
Well, it
social
certainly
media
is.
posts.
It certainly
and
is.
In fact, it was along ideological lines, 7-4.
Well, except that we actually got one of the Obama judges that was appointed by President Obama voted in favor of the tariffs because he felt it was imperative for our country to thrive and survive even. And I gave him credit. I said, you know what? That took a lot of courage for him to do it because you don't see that often.
So my question is, I suspect you're going to appeal that all the way to the Supreme Court.
Well, we already have, yeah. In fact, we're doing something else. We're going to be going to the Supreme Court, we think, tomorrow because we need an early decision. I mean, look, the financial fabric of our country, we're a rich, incredible country right now, and we're able to, other countries use tariffs on us for years, and we never did. I did a lot during my first term, but then we had COVID, and we had to focus on other things. You couldn't be tariffing Italy, Spain, France, as they were dying by the thousands and millions. But we did with China, and China paid us billions and billions of dollars. And I started the process, but then I had to end it a little bit because of COVID. We focused on that. But no, it's a very important decision. And frankly, if they make the wrong decision, it would be a devastation for our country. We've taken in trillions of dollars. And by the way, all these countries signed agreements. As an example, they're all happy. Everybody's happy. But some whack job put in a lawsuit. It went before a very liberal court, and the liberal court ruled, it was 11, they ruled 7-4, with one of the most liberal of them all voting in our favor because they're patriots. I think I give tremendous credit to that judge. And now it's going to the Supreme Court. Now we're going to be asking for early admittance. We're going tomorrow, and we're going to ask for an expedited ruling because, when you look at the stock market's down today, the stock market's down because of that, because the stock market needs the tariffs. They want the tariffs. If you look at AI, all of those, all of that money that's going to be invested, trillions and trillions of dollars, the biggest thing, bigger than the internet, I suspect. It's the internet plus 3 or 4 other things combined. We are leading very substantially with AI. We're leading because of tariffs. We're leading because of talent, and this is where they'd like to be. But without the tariffs, we wouldn't have a chance because we wouldn't be able to protect those investments of the companies coming in. So if you took away tariffs, we could end up being a third world country. That's how big the ruling. So we're asking for an expedited ruling.
As a backstop to that, President, you have a Republican-controlled Congress. You control the House. You control the Senate.
Yeah, but we don't have 60 votes. We don't have 60 votes. I'd love to do that. Oh, if we had 60 senators, if we got the 60 votes, we would get them. But we need 60 votes, and we need, a certain number in the House. I think we'd get, I don't know, we have about 5 of them here. Would everybody agree with me on tariffs? Without tariffs, we're a different country. We have taken in so much money. And here's the thing. We signed a deal with Japan. They're paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. We signed a deal with South Korea. We signed a deal with the European Union. We signed a deal with Europe. And those countries are paying us $950 billion. And they're happy about it. They're okay. As one of them said, it's amazing that we got away with it so long. One of my friends, a leader of one of the countries, and they're fine with it. They all signed. If that ruling ever went against us, I guess we'd have to give back hundreds of billions. We would have to give trillions and trillions of dollars back to countries that have been ripping us off for the last 35 years. And I can't imagine it happening. On a legal basis, they have no legal basis whatsoever. But on a common sense basis, it would destroy America. Okay.
We talked about controlling the sky. On Sunday, the satellite signal of Ursula von der Leyen's plane was alleged.
With Ursula? Well, she had an interesting event. She's a tremendous woman. And so what are you asking me about her?
NATO is concerned about it. I do too, about this.
NATO is concerned about it. Well, nobody knows where it came from, but they did take away her ability to use a phone. You know? Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that could happen to me. I'd be very happy.
Mr. President, reducing the tariffs on India from 50%.
What does that mean?
Are you considering taking away some of the tariffs that you've imposed on India? You had posted.
No, we get along with India very well. But India has, you have to understand, for many years it was a one-sided relationship. Only now, since I came along, and because of the power that we have with tariffs, India was charging us tremendous tariffs, about the highest in the world. They were about the highest in the world, number one. And we, therefore, weren't doing much business with India, but they were doing business with us because we weren't charging them. Foolishly, we weren't charging them. So they would send in massive, everything they made, they'd send it in, pour it into our country. Therefore, it wouldn't be made here, which is a negative. But we would not send in anything because they were charging us 100% tariffs. And, I'll give you an example. Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson couldn't sell into India. There was a 200% tariff on a motorcycle. So what happens? Harley Davidson went to India and built a motorcycle plant. And now they don't have to pay tariffs. Same thing as us. So what we're doing is literally thousands of companies are coming into the U.S., car companies, AI, but, more traditionally, car companies. We have so many car company factories under construction or being designed right now. And they're coming from China, they're coming from Mexico, I must tell you, and they're coming from Canada, a lot of them coming from Canada. But they're coming into our country because they want to build here. And they want to build here for two reasons. Number one, they'd like to be here. And number two, the tariffs are protecting them. And number three, they want to avoid paying tariffs. When they build their cars here, they don't have any tariffs to pay. When you build here, you don't have any tariffs.
Mr. President, in light of the Minnesota shooting last week, the Department of Homeland Security is now awarding more than $100 million to hundreds of faith organizations across the country to help them ramp up security. What's your vision for further protecting religious liberty across the country amid incidents of threats and violence?
Religious liberty is so important, and we're talking about every religion now. And we're doing things on that nobody else has ever done. And we're going to be having a big announcement in about 2 weeks on that question. Yeah, please.
On Space Command, sir, are you concerned that people may not be willing to relocate from Colorado to Alabama?
No, I'm not worried. It will get somebody else. The problem with Colorado is they have a very corrupt voting system. Look, I have so many friends in Colorado. Anytime you have mail-in voting, you have corrupt elections. Very simple. It's very simple. Even Jimmy Carter said it with his commission. They set up a commission with him and Scoop Jackson and some people, highly regarded people. And they said the finding was, if you have mail-in voting, you will have corrupt elections. Well, your radical left governor decided that he was going to have all mail-in voting in Colorado. Once you have all mail-in voting, and for whatever reason, the Democrats cheat. And they cheat like, they're not stupid. That's the only thing. They're no good on policy. They're no good on management. They're no good at government. But they're great at cheating. And they stick together, too. I give them credit for sticking together.
Mr. President,
please.
Obviously, this is a big win for national security, moving this to Alabama. We've all can agree with that.
Big.
Is there any idea of the economic impact this has on the state and on that local area?
Katie, do you want to answer that?
Look, go ahead, George.
Please go.
This is going to be tremendous. The state of Alabama, what we've seen through this process is the worst of Washington. We've seen politics get in the way of what is best for the warfighter, what's best for national security. And the state of Alabama
Washington,
is about
DC.
to show the country the best among us. So we know the economic impact is going to be tremendous. There at Redstone Arsenal, we're proud to house everything from the FBI to headquarters there for material command,
American
to
jobs.
a number
Go,
of things. We obviously have
Alabama.
NASA with Marshall Space Flight Center, and so this naturally fits within. When you look at the decision matrix that they placed in front of us, that's why we ranked so high, is because we have the resources necessary and the ability to build out quickly to meet the needs in front of us. As far as economic impact, it would be tremendous. Does anybody have an exact number? 1,600 jobs.
3,000 spin off.
With 3,000 spinoff. Look at this. This is teamwork right here. So we are really proud, and the people of Alabama are ready to get to work.
And I've got a housing question, if you could, just for a second, Mr.
Yeah,
President.
please.
Owning a home and going about the American dream seems like it's out of touch for a lot of Americans. Just recently, you pushed out a statement about addressing an emergency.
Oh my God, this could go 3 hours.
Thinking about doing that. Well, we need a little help from the Fed. We have a man named Jerome Too Late Powell.
Oh my
You
God,
probably
but he's
heard
going
of him.
after
It's
the
too
Fed.
late. It's way too late. And the economy is so strong that it's pushing through that. Normally it would have been much tougher, but we're doing so well that we're pushing through it. But it makes it very hard for people to get mortgages because too late is too late. Very simple. He's too late. And probably political, whatever. He wasn't too late before the election. Before the election, he was cutting rates, right? Because he was hoping that, I guess, Biden would get in or that Kamala would. He was a big Biden guy. Explain that one. And then he was a Kamala person. But he was hoping, I guess, she'd win, I guess. I don't know. It didn't work out too well. But, yeah, we need a very serious cut. You know, I think that if you look back many decades ago, the United States was always the lowest, even if they were doing badly. The United States was, because without the United States, everything in the world would die. It's true. It's so powerful. It's so big. And I made it really big in the first 4 years. Then it started to degenerate with what this Biden administration did. But we built it up to a level that I never thought we could be at this quickly. We're the hottest, we're the best financially. The money coming in is so big because of tariffs and other things, but because of tariffs. Tariff gets us even those other things. Plus, it gets us great negotiating. I settled 7 wars, and numerous of those wars were because of trade. And numerous of the trade deals that I made were because of tariffs. It gives you a great negotiating ability. If that ability were taken away from us by a liberal court acting on essentially foreign nations, asking to get help from the United States government, when they've been doing this to us for 40 years. That's why we have $38 trillion in debt. We won't have it for long if they let us, if they allow us to do what everybody knows we should be able to do. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, another Biden-era action that you're now reversing is that you signed a deal last week to make federal buildings adopt and embrace classical architecture styles again. Can you talk to us about why you do that, and also what's your vision?
Well, we want to see beautiful buildings. Now, you know, it's in the eye of the beholder. I've seen architectural reviews over the years. I'm an expert at it. I've gotten a lot of great reviews. But I've seen buildings that I didn't think were very good get great reviews, and I've seen great buildings get bad reviews. So, but it's just a standard. We want to have a good standard. We're building something here. You know, for 150 years, they wanted a ballroom at the White House. We're doing something at the highest level, using great architects and all. And, you know, it's very exciting. But we have a lot of interesting things happening architecturally in D.C. And D.C. is like a different place. And, you know, even the contractor said, sir, we walked down today, we feel like much safer. It's like a different place. Washington, D.C. is great. Now, we're going to also beautify it. We're going to put a topping on the roads. We're not going to rip them apart and take 4 years to build a road that was exactly the same by the time you build it. But we're going to put toppings. We're going to put new medians in. We're going to get the graffiti off. We're going to put tiles up in the tunnels where the tiles are missing. And we'll do the whole tunnel instead of, you know, a little area where you see new tiles, old tiles that never look too good, but they could use it. You know, they've been up for 50 years. They've served their duty. But we're going to make this within about a 20-mile radius from the White House. We're going to have this place spick and span. It's going to be crime-free, and it's going to be spick and span. It's going to be, you'll be proud of Washington again. Go ahead, please.
Sir, China's having a massive military parade that President Putin and Kim Jong-un will be attending. Do you interpret that as a challenge to this? And are you concerned at all about those countries trying to be some sort of counterweight?
Not at all. China needs us, and I have a very good relationship with President Xi, as you know. but China needs us much more than we need them. No, I don't see that at all, no. And I had actually a very good meeting with President Putin a couple of weeks ago. We'll see if anything comes out of it. If it doesn't, we'll take a different stance.
Everyone in March today in California ruled that your deployment of National Guard troops to Los Angeles was illegal. Do you have any response?
Well, it was a radical left judge, but very importantly, what did you not tell me in that question or statement that you made pretty much of a statement, I think?
Well, I was asking for your response.
No, you didn't say what the judge said, though. The judge said, but you can leave the 300 people that you already have in place. They can continue to be in place. That's all we need. But why didn't you put that as part of your statement? Because the same judge ruled exactly as you said, except the judge said that you can leave the 300 people that you already have in place. They can stay, they can remain, they can do what they have to do. Thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's it? Oh, man, I was just warming up. Holy shit.
Wow. So they want to have a nice, reasonably long press conference to show off that he's, in fact, healthy.
He seemed, I mean, he seemed immortal. He really did. He seemed
immoral. What'd you say? Immoral?
Immortal. Like
immortal.
This
Yeah,
guy's
he seemed
never
fine.
gonna die.
He seemed totally fine, completely healthy.
He seemed, yeah.
Well, it's healthy, you know.
Seems like David.
Because he is at that age.
We need to look in on David Packman. He must be on suicide
oh my
watch
god,
now.
I'm sure it's bad. I'm sure it's bad. Actually, so I think I figured out what why he was out of the public eye for 6 days. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes, because he looked very healthy. So I don't think that was the issue. It was his hair. Did you see his hair? The back of his head, it looked weird. I think he needed to get his hair fixed. His hair was long. He had a week-long bad hair day, and he's like, I can't go in front of the cameras like this. Yes, that's my theory.
He said no going in front of the cameras with bad hair. Okay, well,
yes,
that could be. I mean,
that was the reason. That was the explanation.
Accurate. I got the picture. I brought up the picture.
What?
Everyone in chat was
the universal picture.
Yeah, I was demoralized to find out that Sammy G was actually that Sammy G was actually much taller than you. What is she?
Look at that.
I mean, you're like the
manly.
perfect heart. Like you come right up to her chest there. That's
now
perfect.
It's interesting because apparently I don't think I'm tiny. I think Sammy G is apparently an Amazon because look, Mario and Luigi are like tiny compared to both of us. Yes.
They hire a bunch of midgets now.
There you go. I have to climb Sammy. Yeah, exactly. This is an Amazonian woman. So there you go.
Okay, I guess let's look at the actual picture here. Here's the real picture. I was just messing around.
That was pretty funny.
I was just having some fun, guys.
There we are. Look how adorable. So cute.
Wow.
Doesn't she look cute, everybody?
Yeah. So which one of these costumed assaulters were you fighting with? Mario. Right? It was.
I was fighting with Mario. I said, "Get out of here!" So you had to kind of push him away. I had to elbow my way in there and be like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's great. Is that a Make America Great Again hat that you put some logo on?
No, it's a Mario hat. It's an official Mario hat.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Not a repurposed.
It is not a repurposed hat. See, now that would have been good if Sam would have been like, aha, I tricked you, Sitch. You were wearing a MAGA hat the whole day. I just replaced it with the little Mario logo. You didn't notice. That would have been pretty sneaky. Pretty sneaky.
If it said 45, 47 on the side, you'd have been like, what's that all about?
Oh my God. So anyway, back to the press conference.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Trump seems to be totally healthy, totally fine. So I think that your theory is probably the most correct. He just had a cold or something that probably made him look gross, but wasn't devastating, and he just didn't want to be in front of cameras because it looks gross.
Yeah, and also the rumor mill would start going, "Oh my God, it looks terrible. He's having a stroke. He's gonna die in office." So they just waited it out.
Maybe just a cold. Just a cold, everyone. Everyone relax.
They just waited it out, and Also, I mean, it doesn't hurt them. Like you saw, he even had one of his sycophants give him the question.
The deuce.
But he messed it up. You could see Trump was very agitated by the fact that he's like, we told you to ask the question differently than that. You don't imply that I'm dead, you stupid mother. This stupid guy. We give him one job to do. One job to do.
He's going to get a spanking afterwards.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
But they gave him the layup question.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, look, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Right.
So it doesn't hurt him.
No.
Any story that's not about Epstein doesn't hurt him at all.
Well, and you could say it's
speculating.
You could argue that it's smart in the long run, because then if there actually is a problem, the people would just be like, well, yeah, but you thought that before, and he was totally fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a good thing to set up. And it's funny because that goes to the AI window thing where Trump said, well, now with AI, even if it is not AI, I can say it's AI.
You think they did the AI thing with the window?
That's weird, because I don't think that the window, I didn't really have a strong take on the window thing. I didn't think anything of it. I thought, oh, I don't know, maybe they're just throwing trash at the window. Like, I didn't think it was that weird until he said it was AI, because I don't think that video is AI. It doesn't look AI. And I don't know why someone
that would be
AI
so
thing.
easy to do on AI, though. I mean, that could easily be AI.
One of the clip I saw was kind of long.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. And to have like that static of it. Now, I don't know, maybe. But for the images I see with AI, the video, it's like hard to have like a really static shot with like that for a long period of time. But it's like very low quality too. So maybe you could hide a lot of AI artifacts. I don't know why someone would AI that. It's like a very random, weird thing. So I think it's more likely that it's something. I think it's more likely that the window thing is something innocuous. It was someone's throwing trash or something random out the window. And Trump just didn't know about it, because why the fuck would they randomly tell Trump about this information? And so he just was like, oh, it's just AI, because he doesn't know like the story. So he just automatically assumed it was AI.
Right.
That'd be my guess. Well, there you go. Trump's alive, everybody.
Yeah, alive and well. Look at that.
Alive and well. Look at that.
It was a big nothing burger.
Big nothing. So sad. All the Pacmans and Kalinskis of the world are going to be having a meltdown today.
All of the speculation turned out to be completely incorrect. And we were right all along. Unless,
what if we were witnessing the Trump body double and the real Trump his body was being thrown out the window? Okay.
Everybody in chat was like, this is the best body double of all time.
Yeah. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good body double. He convinced me. Okay. Fully convinced me.
So we have the poll. We had 723 participants. 8% of you said Trump is dying. Now that's a massive TDS there. Something's going on here with the 8%.
Well, this was before.
Look,
this was people voting before they saw him come out.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Look, they don't have TDS. Okay, they were speculating. Just joking around, guys. The 35% said Trump is sick but not dying, which, look, it probably was sick. Otherwise, he would have been a little more active.
Right.
Trump is fine and golfing, 26%, and then 30, Trump is immortal, 30%. I think Trump might be immortal now. So
there you go.
I think that's probably the closest to accurate. We got some super chats to read, and then are we gonna do the other thing?
We could save it for Thursday. Did what's his name ever respond to your email?
He did not. No.
Okay, so we'll say that for Thursday. There is another story I do want to talk about today. That's insane. I'll talk about after we read super chats here.
Okay.
J Mac or Circuit Fire, thanks so much, Daddy J Mac, for the $50. Says, as you both know, I worked as a costume character for 2 years at Six Flags. That's right. That's right. J Mac is our resident experience expert on this. Adam is right. 90% of them are freaking weirdos. There you go.
Oh shit, that's what I was gonna say. So there you can tell us, is it true that most of them are on the sex registry?
Wow, look at that. Then he also says, and yes, Sitch, it's all part of the entertainment department. Our main Bugs Bunny was a chick. We had a fling for a bit. Look at that. J-Mac.
Wow. Wow.
J-Mac is confirmed furry, was banging Bugs Bunny. Oh,
Wow.
Did you ever have her like put the head on?
Coming
the
out
big
as
Bugs Bunny
gay
head on
and
while
a
you were-
furry at the same time.
While you were doing it, so. No, he had like the female Bugs Bunny version with like the
Oh,
lipstick,
okay.
so
So
it
then,
was
yeah.
okay. It was okay.
As long as they're opposite sex, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Scruffy
man,
Pumpkin
that would be good. Go ahead.
Yes. Scruffy Pumpkin for $2 says, "What's your favorite ride at Epic?" Mine's the Monsters. The Monsters ride was very cool, very good. I would say my favorite like normal ride was the roller coaster at How to Tame Your Dragon place. My favorite like screen ride was Mario Kart. It's a very cool idea.
We should say too, we are streaming tomorrow at this same time, 11
Yes.
a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And we're talking to J-Mac. J-Mac's working on a game, and he's got some new art to show us and to give us an update on where they're at. I think they have a date lined up for their crowdfund launch. So we'll talk to him tomorrow. It'll be great.
Will be great. And then we're going to be streaming here on Thursday, not
Right.
the entertainment channel. So
Correct. Yes.
there you go.
Unless you want to review something, which
No, probably not.
I went and saw Toxic Avenger.
Okay.
My wife wanted to see it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Like the remake 2023.
Probably should have
remake?
saw Red Sonja. Everyone's talking about Red Sonja, but
Mm.
yeah, the remake.
I saw on a plane recently
Mhm.
with Sammy. We watched on our little phones. We watched the Mickey movie that you reviewed.
Oh, Mickey 17?
Mickey 17. Yeah.
We could talk about Mickey 17.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, we'll do politics because we got to watch that Richie Torres interview. Is insane.
Right. And we do owe this channel days off. So
Right. J-Mac or Circuit Fire, thanks so much, Dad. J-Mac for $10 says, "I'll give you extra J-Mac bucks if you can guess the main Looney Tune I played, both out and about for the show." We should know this because I'm like 100% sure you told us who you played in the past, and like bad people, we
the main
forgotten.
Looney Tune?
Yeah, I believe you said it was either. I believe you said you either played Foghorn Leghorn or Yosemite Sam.
Oh, you're right.
I think it was Foghorn Leghorn. if
You're
I recall
right.
correctly. Yeah.
Excellent memory.
Am I right? Was that what it was?
Foghorn Leghorn is the teacher, right, of the chicken hawk guy.
Yes.
I'm
now
a
I say,
chicken
boy.
hawk.
Now I say, boy. What you doing?
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're amazing, Sitch.
Well, I don't know if I'm right.
I think
either.
that's
So I could be
100%
wrong.
correct.
Maybe it was Daffy Duck or Elmer Fudd or something.
I don't
completely
know.
different.
I don't know how that name came to be, Foghorn Leghorn. It's such a weird name for that character.
It is. I assume it's some kind of reference to something. That's a good question. Foghorn Leghorn is like one of my favorite characters. So it says his first name Foghorn reflects his loud and obnoxious nature, and Leghorn is a direct reference to the specific type of rooster he is. Well, there you go. Internet knows everything. So. J-Mac or Circuit Fire, thanks so much for $20. Says she
This
did a
is
frontal
hilarious.
kiss. Look at this. She did a frontal kiss once while wearing the costume while I was a guest. That's how I know I'm not a furry. Nothing was stirred. She was a weirdo as well. A lot of those vibes, Adam. Frickin' weirdo.
That's hilarious.
Wait a minute. So when you say she did a frontal kiss, she was wearing.
She was in the
full-
costume and he was
She's wearing the full
normal. Yeah.
So your kiss, she kissed you, but you're just kissing like a gross like Bugs Bunny costume. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
That doesn't. I thought they
I
get really.
was laughing about the nothing was stirred.
Nothing was.
Just
I thought they get really
imagining-
mad.
This
if
is
you
how
do
people
that.
figure out that they're furries. They go to Disneyland or Universal Studios, and then all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm in love."
Right, right. There was a lot of people that became furries because of Lion King or seeing Bugs Bunny in drag. So, okay, look, that was correct. There you go,
It
Foghorn
was
Leghorn,
Foghorn
baby.
Leghorn. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember that because he's like my favorite Looney Tunes character. So good for
remember.
you. Look at that. Albert, thanks so much for 31 months. Says fake Trump. He got replaced with a clone. Hashtag the great replacement theory. True.
If you could get
True.
great replacement theory trending with that theory.
That's
Oh
a
my
good
God.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. It's really Mexican. They had a Mexican that they like altered the plastic surgery,
No,
pretend to be Trump.
the play would be if you could get the left to say it was a body double and them to share the hashtag great replacement.
Yes.
theory.
No, I understood. I got you. Yeah.
That would be great.
Libertarian Sasquatch for Tourists says, I can hear David Pakman sobbing.
Yes,
I
definitely.
bet. Yeah. Yes. Even Midas Touch and Crystal had a video about it. Everyone had a video about this.
Yeah.
Electro for $10 says, Sitch, I'm surprised the park would allow Mario to do that since Nintendo did say they were just friends. That's true. That's so weird. That was so bizarre. Everyone, just let Mario and Peach like be an item, Nintendo. What are you doing? Come on. Brian for $5 says, the one thing that you can say about the press conference is that nobody forgot to say thank you. True. Anonymous Cow for $5 says, did you react to David Pakman's meltdown about his dark money scheme? He thinks right-wingers are so coordinated when all they do is react to Exo Day. We haven't covered it. You know, I watched a bunch of videos on it. I think even Sean made a video on it. Yeah, because I was curious. I was like, holy shit. Like, when that story came out, I was like, that's crazy. When the story first came out, if you don't know, there's a story came out that said that there was a bunch of left-wing but not socialists, and this is important, left-wing but not socialist YouTubers and streamers who were all part of some sort of nefarious dark money campaign, and that it was implied that this is why they weren't so hard against Israel, because that they were being paid by the DNC or something to not talk about Israel. Now, I heard that, I said, oh, that's crazy. But then I saw who wrote the article. Now, do you know who wrote the article?
The Hamas supporter, Taylor Lorenz.
Taylor Lorenz. Yeah, Taylor Lorenz wrote the article. Number one, Hassan Simp.
Yeah.
Commie, known fabricator and liar. She did write it for Wired, though, which is a somewhat, pretty mainstream publication. But I saw those Taylor Lorenz, which made me think, I don't know if I'm going to believe this, because I don't believe Taylor Lorenz. There was a bunch of people that were being accused of nefarious things. They kind of pushed back, obviously. Jesse Signal had an interesting X post, which I kind of want to reserve judgment for until we get to the bottom of the answer. Because he said, he had a good point, which is some of these people could just post their contracts. They could just remove, there's all these accusations about like what they have to do and what they have to say and whether they have to coordinate things with this, dark money group called Chorus.
That's a good
and all this other
idea.
stuff.
Remove the dollar figure and just post the agreement.
Yeah, and he said just post the contract, but remove the personal information. And I'm like, that's a great point. Why doesn't someone fucking do that? And he actually had a funny interaction where he reached out to David Pakman to ask him this question. And David Pakman's like, I don't know who you are, Jesse Singal, and I'm not going to do that. So,
bull fucking shit. Shit.
I went back and I used that website that like goes through all the captions to see if Dave Pakman had ever mentioned Jesse Singal. And actually a year ago on a live stream, someone asked David Pakman, it was like last February, because it was a year ago in 2024, said, do you know who Jesse Singal is? And he says he didn't know who he was. And then he Googles him on air and he's like, oh, blocked and reported. That sounds like a Susk's podcast.
Oh, wow.
Right. So maybe he didn't remember
so
that.
Maybe he doesn't know him.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. So, but I will reserve final judgment on the validity of those claims until someone provides a contract. So we'll see.
But what if they never do provide a contract? Then I'm going to assume they're guilty as fuck. The first thing that I would want to do is clear my good name. Right. I'd be posting that contract ASAP.
There was someone who posted a part of the contract, but Jesse Signal pointed out they had their head, because it was like, in the TikTok video, people they have their head in front of the picture that they're showing.
Yeah.
They're like blocking out a part of the contract that looks sort
suspicious.
Like they're kind of, the contract maybe says the thing
it's
that they
got the Star of David. It says the Star of David on it.
Right. So it's kind of like, okay, like I don't know what's going on here. It was something about whether the group was called Chorus. So something about whether if you are one of these content creators, you have to go through this organization in order to set up interviews with government officials or anyone related to politics, potentially. Now, Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen, I think Brian Tyler Cohen is the person that started this. He claims that all that's supposed to be going on with this organization is that they're paying for and training young, smaller channels. It's like a mentorship program is how he claims it is. It's like a mentorship program where they pay younger, smaller left-wing channels to, be able to produce, pro-Democrats, left-wing content essentially. So he's like, oh, it's innocent. It's just a mentorship program.
Yeah. And
so, well, okay. That was their defense. And then Taylor Lorenz says, no, they're evil, working for the DNC and getting paid to not talk about Israel. So,
yeah, look, people get paid all the time. I think it's the right thing to do is to disclose that, right? To say, look, I'm working with this organization, not to be secretly working with some organization, right? Like if someone gave us money to, even if the deal was, okay, we're going to give you money, you talk about whatever you want, we just like your takes. I mean, we would disclose that, right? Obviously, especially if it's a large sum of money.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Because this thing, like, I agree with you 100%. I don't care if someone on the left or the right is like, hey, I want to pay content creators who are in my team so that they're like more likely to produce content, or even if I want to help them like with thumbnails or whatever, which is what they're claiming they're doing, and like to become better channels. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever, as long as they're not paying them to tell them what to say, which, you kind of get in the gray area of like, if one of these people is being paid and they kind of feel like they're against the left on some issue, they would feel some internal pressure probably to not talk about it, but that's a whole other issue. But then number two, the bigger point, which I agree with you 100%, is if these people would just say, if they had said it beforehand, like, oh, I'm working with this organization and this is what it is and we're getting paid going forward, then yeah, that's what you should do. You should 100% just be upfront with that if there's nothing to hide, obviously, and just say that from the beginning.
All of our super chats, I mean, it's all publicly displayed, right?
Right. Yes. So
I
don't know if we're going to hopefully get more information about it. I'm kind of waffling between it's not a big deal to maybe there is something there. I wish it wasn't by Taylor Lorenz because she's just such a horribly dishonest person. And it really seems to me like this whole article seems to me to be like, I don't think it's a coincidence that this coassigns with
her beliefs on Israel, Palestine, right?
Well, not just with that, but also, Hassan getting all this publicity now in mainstream publications. All these mainstream publications are trying to like fucking bolster Hassan. They want to create some
trying to take all his competition down.
Right. Try to bolster, him on being like the face and voice of the left. So then all of a sudden, Taylor Lorenz, who's like a number one Hassan simp, probably trying to fuck him or is fucking him, comes out with some article where she's like, oh, all the people on the left that are not socialists, surprise, surprise, all the non-socialist people on the left that have been blowing up recently, oh, they're all part of some sort of evil cabal. So it's a little suspect. That's, not
well, they
not
could
very
be
trustworthy.
Part of an evil cabal and still take the hit. I mean,
and she has nefarious purposes. That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
Could be
That's
both.
Yeah, it could be both. So hopefully we'll see. Hopefully Jesse Singal or some other journalists will actually do their fucking job. Jesse's on top of it, but other journalists will do their job. Keep pushing to get these contracts released so we can see ourselves.
So we can see how guilty they are. Guilty.
There you go. Okay. Michael Dover Dafford, 2 Canadians, says, smash the like button if Sitch is a good boyfriend. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Did Sammy smash the like button? I guess you'll have to investigate later.
I'll check on her phone. Sells Temple for $10 says, Trump said they're making this very significant national security decision to punish Colorado for doing mail-in voting. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, obviously, I say obviously. I would hope that wasn't the actual reason, and he's just throwing it in there because he's such a, hard-on hatred for mail-in voting. But it's a weird thing to throw that out there.
Well, he did do a lot of, we're doing it because the experts said before that. So
you think maybe that was?
What's weird?
I think it's one of these situations where, like, I'm sure he's being lobbied by Alabama. This is what probably happened. He's being lobbied by Alabama and all these other countries to move it out of Colorado. And he's like, should we do that? It's going to cost a lot of money. And then someone says, well, Colorado has mail-in voting and they're not listening to you. And he's like, okay, yeah, let's get out of there. Like, maybe, like, yeah, I guess I take it back. I could see that had
That's
some influence on his
exactly
mind.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Which is pretty stupid. But
Trump is pretty easy to manipulate.
yes, seems like it. Sam Josh for $5 says, I like the idea Ducey put up of putting a single National Guardsman in each high school to prevent shootings. Even if it's theater, it'll shut them up. It's funny because Trump had the response, which is my first response too, was like, there's a lot of schools in the country. I don't know how feasible that is, but I thought most schools were supposed to have police officers in them, weren't they?
Like school I mean, I don't think they all do. Obviously, schools that don't need it don't have it. And there's some schools that have magnetometers and shit. It's like a prison.
Yeah, but you never know. You say like schools that don't need it, you never know, because all these school shooters, they just go to some random school that we never expect violence.
Yeah,
like the Catholic school, they just happen. So
yeah, they go there because they know no one's armed.
Right. Well, now that's a private school, so I guess it would be up to them to do that.
There are approximately 115 to 130,000 K through 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think National Guardsman is going to do it, but if most school, I'm pretty sure my school too, at some point, even way back in the day, I'm pretty sure there was a cop that was always there. Now that was I forget that shooting. There was that problem with that shooting where there was a cop there and he ran away. I remember.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
There are 430,000 soldiers in the National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 in 4.
You'd be taking a fourth of that away.
Yeah. 1 in 4.
Yeah.
Actually, it's more than 1 in 4, but
yeah.
Yes. So how do they do it? They draw straws, lottery, flip coins.
Just have like
Rochambeau.
a local police officer or something do it.
Not to mention, I don't know if these people know how the National Guard works, but it is basically, it's on the weekend you go to training. I think maybe every other month or something like that.
Yeah, don't these people have normal jobs?
Yeah.
Generally?
Yeah, the National Guard is designed as a force that you call up in emergencies. So if one out of 4 people are going to have a full-time job now at the school.
Right, that wouldn't be feasible at all.
Yeah,
that's a good
that
point.
would make a lot of sense.
Right. J-Mac for $10. Thanks so much for your follow. Daddy J-Mac for $10 says, man, couldn't have given my boy a mushroom before taking the pic for Super Sage. It looked like Sammy got the mushroom. Everyone else was just teeny tiny.
Yeah.
MA566 for 21 months says, Sammy Giantess confirmed. Look at that. True. Sam Josh for $2 says, would you rather have cancer or fake having cancer? Well, obviously the latter. Yeah, obviously. Come on.
Yeah.
Much
I mean,
better.
it wouldn't be fun, but can you imagine?
Be better than the alternative.
You're forced to go to your wife.
Yes.
Cancer.
Oh my God. Well, that's fucked up, but
that's totally fucked up.
Yeah. I think she would be happier if it turned out it was fake than if it was real. So
yeah, how long do you have to carry
April
the charade
Fools.
on? Oh, you probably get divorced, though. She'd probably be so pissed.
Yeah, not good. Okay, I sent you a tweet to bring up here. This story is
what is that?
Fucking crazy. All right. So there's this guy. It's the creator of Father Ted, Graham Linehan, I think is how you say his name. And he's kind of an interesting guy because back in the day, he was pretty like a woke feminist. But then when all the trans stuff blew up, he was very anti-trans stuff. He was very anti-trans women being allowed in women's spaces, individual.
Okay.
So I guess he became one of like the gender critical feminists. I don't know if he's become less woke now because of what's happened or if he's still the same, but whatever. So he's very like in the J.K. Rowling, very anti all the trans stuff now. So
good. I like that.
So it says Graham has been arrested. Okay. He's been arrested at Heathrow by 5 police officers upon his return to the United Kingdom. He's a UK citizen. His crime was these 3 posts. He was then taken to hospital after his blood pressure spiked and has been banned from posting on X. Freedom of speech is dead in the UK. So these are the 3 posts that he posted on X that got him arrested by the fucking police in the United Kingdom. All right.
This is crazy because I thought you were going to say, oh yeah, he he was trans or he turned out to be a child molester or something.
No.
But no, it's
No,
just
he
like
posted
he
on
posted
X.
on social media.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
boy.
Right. So these are the posts, I believe. Now, he has said that these are the posts that got him arrested. I don't know if the UK Police Department has ever put out a public statement yet. But it says, so the first one is from April 20th, 2025. He says, if a trans-identified male is in a female-only space, he is committing a violent, abusive act. Make a scene, call the cops, and if all else fails, punch him in the balls.
Punch him in the balls. Okay.
Punch him in the balls. There you go. Then the other one is a picture of a pro-trans protest. And he posted, it says, a photo you can smell. And then the next one, which seemed to be a reply under that, was, I hate them, misogynists and homophobes, fuck them. Now, those three posts apparently in the UK get you arrested and blocked. The government says that you can no longer post on X.
He's
And this is-
saying he hates misogynists and homophobes. In the last one here, I hate them, misogynists and homophobes.
He's saying that the pro-trans people are misogynists and homophobes.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like a gender critical feminist.
Oh, I got you. He thinks they're transing away the gay.
Yes.
Which they are to some extent, not all of them, but
he thinks they're transing away the gay, and also that they're men sneaking into women's spaces, sort of scenario. That's where the misogynist angle. So he posted about this. He said, something odd happened before I even boarded the flight in Arizona. When I hand over my passport at the gate, the official told me I didn't have a seat and had to be reticketed. At the time, I thought it was just a sort of innocent snafu that makes air travel such a joy, but in hindsight, it was clear I'd been flagged. Someone somewhere, probably wearing unconvincing makeup, and his wife, sisters, or mom's underwear had made a phone call.
Oh my God, he's swinging for the fences.
Swinging.
He's not going down.
The moment I stepped off the plane at Heathrow, 5 armed police officers were waiting. Not 1, not 2, 5. They escorted, that's a lot. For like an old comedian posting on X. They escorted me to a private area and told me I was under arrest for 3 tweets. In countries where pedophiles, I don't know, he spelled it like that, escaped sentencing, where knife crime is out of control, where women are assaulted and harassed every time they gather to speak, the state has mobilized 5 armed officers to arrest a comedian for this tweet. And no, I promise you, I'm not making this up. And then he shows the tweets. When I first saw the cops, I actually laughed. I couldn't help myself. I said, don't tell me you've been sent by trans activists. He called it. He could predict it. The officers gave no reaction. And this was the theme.
Because they were trans.
Exactly. Among the rank and file, there's a sort of polite bafflement, entirely professional and even kind, but most had absolutely no idea what any of this was about. Kind because the officer saw how upset I was and they began reading me my rights. The red mist descended and I came close to becoming one of those police body cam videos where you can't believe the perp isn't just doing what he's told. Oh my God. So he almost like freaked out on them. Can you believe that? He almost like flipped out on the police officers.
Yeah, wow.
They treated me gently after that. They even arranged for Van to meet me on the tarmac so I didn't have to be perp walked through the airport like a terrorist. Small mercies. At Heathrow Police Station, my belt bag and devices were confiscated. The guy take his belt away and make sure he doesn't, Epstein himself. Or not. Then I was shown into a small green tiled cell with a bunk, a silver toilet in the corner, and a message from Crime Stoppers on the ceiling next to the concave mirror that was presumably there to make you reflect on your life choices. By some miracle, probably because I hadn't slept on the flight, I managed to doze off. After the premier economy seat, in which I just spent 10 hours in, it was actually a relief to stretch out. That passed the time, though I kept waking up wondering if it was all actually happening. Later during the interview itself, the tone shifted. The officer conducting it asked about each of the terrible tweets in turn, with a sort of earnest intensity usually reserved for discussing something like, oh, I don't know, crime? I explained that the punch tweet was a serious point made with a joke. Men who enter women's spaces are abusers and they need to be challenged every time. The punch in the bollocks bit was about the height difference between men and women. The bollocks being closer to punch level for a woman defending her rights. It's certainly not a call for violence. Not one of my best, as one of the female officers said, we're not that small.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. He mentioned trans people. I asked him what he meant by the phrase. Quote, people who feel their gender is different than what was assigned at birth. I said assigned at, oh God, that's not good. The police officer said assigned at birth.
Yeah, you're Oh man, we're
That's
so
bad.
fucked. We're
That's
so
bad.
fucked.
Yeah.
How many lights? How many lights?
Yes. I said, assigned at birth, our sex isn't assigned. He called it semantics. I told him he was using activist language that damage Stonewall has done to the UK police force will take years to mend. Eventually, a nurse came to check on me and found my blood pressure was over 200, which is stroke territory. Jesus Christ. This guy got to get his health checked. Jeez.
Well, this is terrifying.
Yes. The stress of being arrested for jokes was literally threatening my life, so I was escorted to A&E, where I wrote this now after spending about 8 hours under observation. The doctor suggested the high blood pressure was stress-related, combined with a long-haul travel and lack of movement. He also looks pretty fat, so I should probably work on that. I feel may also have been contributing factor that I now spent 8 years being targeted by trans activists working in tandem with police in dedicated persistent harassment campaign because I refuse to believe that lesbians have cocks. The police themselves, for the most part, were consistently decent throughout this farce. Some were even Father Ted fans. Thank God the Catholic Church never had, with the police, a special relationship granted to trans activists. The male officers are mostly polite, but clearly non-pulsed by the politics of it all, just doing their job, however insane these jobs have become. The female officers seemed more tuned into what was actually happening. One mentioned the Sandy Peggy case in a certain way, and I realized I was among friends, even if they couldn't admit it. So that's interesting. So he's saying that the female officers were more sympathetic to his cause.
Yeah, because they're like, we
women.
don't like all these trans men in our spaces.
Right. Well, no, but usually, yes. But usually the framing is like, oh, the women are the ones ruining politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of interesting. This is the reverse. I looked at the single bail condition. I'm not to go on Twitter. So part of his bail condition is that he can't go on X.
Is that did someone else post this for him, or is this his account?
This is on his Substack.
Oh, okay.
That's it. No threats, no speeches about the seriousness of my crime, just a legal gag order designed to shut me up while I'm in the UK and demand I face further interview in October. The civility of individual officers doesn't alter the fundamental reality of what has happened. I was arrested at an airport like a terrorist, locked in a cell like a criminal, taken to a hospital because the stress nearly killed me, and banned from speaking online, all because I made jokes that upset some psychotic crossdressers. To me, this proves one thing beyond a doubt. The UK has become a country that's hostile to freedom of speech, hostile to women, and far too accommodating to the demands of violent, entitled, abusive men who have turned the police into their personal goon squad. Epilogue. At one point I said, quote, I bet I know who made this complaint. Lindsay Watson, a demented ex-copper troon who was fired for his online conduct. Then lo and behold, one of my lawyers sent me this reply to the bollocks tweet. And it was this person he was talking about. And they said, that weirdo ex-copper claims he has reported this to the police and is trying to get other troons to do so, just FYI. Watson is also involved in my other case on Thursday and Friday at London Westminster Magistrates Court. Trans activists are planning to protest, so bring the nose plugs. There you go. Look at that.
Wow.
Crazy.
The UK needs a First Amendment.
Yes.
I don't know how they do it, but this is utter bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. Yeah. There's a reason it's the First Amendment. People need to be able to speak their minds.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I assume the UK has some sort of Bill of Rights, Constitution-esque document that can be amended via legal procedure. And yes, you are 100% correct.
Yeah, they need it.
They desperately, and the people need to demand this. UK is like so fucked up with all their immigration stuff and this shit. It's like desperately need to force the UK to write in freedom of speech as a fundamental right for UK citizens, because this is batshit crazy.
They try to call out hate speech. They try to define it as hate speech here in America, but hate speech is free speech because fucking, as long as you're not, there are rules or this, like you can't say anything. Obviously, you can't incite violence, that kind of stuff. But
right,
you should be able to say that you hate some fucker. Like let's be clear here. It's your God-given right to hate people.
Well, it's funny because like the only one of those, which I mean, again, I think is protected, but the only one of those tweets you could point to and say, okay, maybe they're gonna complain about
the punching the balls,
punching the balls. But the other one, a photo you can smell.
Yeah.
How is that? Or I hate them because he thinks they're misogynists and homophobes. How does that have anything to do with the police? Like, oh, this is a threat. This is a threat to the community.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Speech police. It's so crazy.
I did it okay for $10 says Colorado's Jenna Griswold found to be passing the password for voting machines and other corrupt things and is being impeached possibly. Really? Is that true? That's pretty crazy. If that's the case. I haven't heard about that. Our league for $5 says I watched a guy in the UK get arrested for saying he loves bacon. They called it perceived racial abuse. What? What was the context? Was he like screaming it at a Muslim person or something? Is that like how I don't see how could you interpret that as like hate speech? UK, you guys got to be uncucked because you're cucked right now. UK's got to uncuck themselves. This is pretty crazy. Anyway.
All right. We're going to stream tomorrow with JMac. We're going to cover the Richie Torres, Adam Friedland interview on Thursday on this channel.
And maybe by then we'll be tax-free. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I would love for that to happen.
All right. Everyone have a spectacular day.
Take care.